hassle hass. "7 months kinda sussy." Hassle 11 months and no brain rot yet. Fresh, maybe I'm built different.
I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, a fantastic afternoon, a fantastic pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hasan Piker, and this is the HasanAbi podcast coming to you live from sunny and beautiful California, Los Angeles, folks. We are live and alive, and I hope all the boys, all the girls, and all the MBs are having a fantastic one. That opening sequence is, of course, Megaphonics' very own epic trailer version of Waiting for Hasan. What's happening, folks? The cameras are back. It's freaking back, baby. It's super back, you know? It's back in a big way. Let's do check. Oh, look at that. Look at that, folks. The cams are back in a big way. And now, not only that, but also, I have a special update as well on top of the current cameras that we have. But, folks, the quality of the stream is back to the regular hyper quality it was, right? But we now also have... You guys ready for this? Are you guys ready for this? We now also have another special thing. That's right, a stunning, decadent, absolutely brilliant
Sunday fun day.
I don't even know if I'm ready for this. I don't know if I'm ready to show you.
Transgender pride, transgender pride.
Hold on 1 second. Wait a moment.
Won't be more brain rot.
Okay, maybe the kitchen cam is not working. I was gonna fucking reveal it. I was gonna do a big reveal, but... Oh, it is working. Look at that. Oh my god. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, bruv. Brilliant, bruv. Brilliant.
Hassle.
What's wrong? Was the audio messed up? What happened? Oh shit, you're on camera, Marat. You can't see yourself, but... Yeah, I am. So what was it? Clip it. We have no idea. What was it? Audio sounds like I have mushrooms. Oh. It's not working. Oh my god. The audio is like insanely delayed. What the fuck? That's crazy. Okay. What? Okay, well, listen, we're still working on it, okay? There's kinks. Chill, boys. There's kinks. There's kinks. There's kinks. It happens. It's kinky.
Waiting on that brain rot.
We do have the kitchen cam now, though, okay? We're a new org. These things happen, right? Isn't that how it works? Isn't that what they say? Isn't that what they always say? Anyway, whatever, dude.
So happy to be here.
Is it Bluetooth? No, it's not. It's not Bluetooth. It's it's a super complicated system. I forgot we actually saw the kitchen for the gingerbread house competition. Yeah, this is not the first time you've seen my kitchen. We did a gingerbread house competition on here before. But Your mic is sounding great though, by the way. Way less echo. Sounds like a podcast now. Yeah, we did some changes. We made some changes this morning. Shouts out to Brian, who's a HasanAbi head, who has been profoundly, infinitely helpful. Don't know how else to describe it. What will the haters say when you leave to make your tendies? They need new material, Hasan. Think of the haters, people sad. This is where I got white. Yeah, this is where I created white face. The main microphone sounds way better, like the old setup. Yeah, that was also Brian. It's crazy that this entire morning, like here's what we were supposed to do. This morning, I'll start with last night, and then I'll get into this morning, and I'll tell you a little bit more. So, what was supposed to happen is I was supposed to. I went out last night for a little bit. Went to the Abbey, and I did a bunch of stuff before the Abbey as well, which I'll tell you in a second. But this morning I was supposed to basically go and play some basketball in the morning with my friend Brian, my trainer, and then afterwards I was supposed to ball in the morning. But this was the best time to fix the. This was basically the best time to fix the cameras, which has had. My other Brian friend. Best time for Brian to fix the cameras. We put in the capture card, did all of this stuff, and fixed the cameras so that there could be multiple camera angles once again. Right, all the cameras would work again. We didn't have to rely on the Brio anymore because, like, look at the difference. Look at the difference. Are you ready for this? You want to look at the difference? You want to see the difference? Look. That's the difference between the Brio and the Hero.
Also kitchen cam.
So this is the crispy camera is the 4K is the good camera. Is the Abbey a gay club? Serious question. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Abbey in a second. HX Max, thank you for the 5 get the subs. Anyway, so what ended up happening is a lot of issues occurred in the trouble fixing as always, and that is why I was incredibly late. I bailed on the basketball, which sucks, but also turned around and did a bunch of really important things that we were supposed to do, like get the kitchen process going, you know what I mean? Watch out, dude. Oh my god, this makes my head look even smaller. What the fuck? My head is not this small in comparison to the rest of my body, okay? Can I just say? I don't know what this is. It's a lie, okay?
Let's go.
It's photoshopped. I'm sick and tired of it, dude. Sick and tired of the fucking Photoshop, okay? Anyway, point is, Nick Mullen referred to your setup as a shelf full of Pokemon shit recently. I mean, there is no Pokemon shit, but there's a lot of, like, anime stuff, so he's not wrong. Does this not even listen to future nostalgia? What? No. It's Western disinformation, brother. Protect our Putin brother from this small head propaganda. Exactly. Many people are saying me and Vladimir Putin both have small heads. Not true. Vladimir Putin, very big head. Hasan Piker, also very big head. Anyway. Dude, I was in such a hurry to fucking put my fucking bracelet on when the stream was starting that I put it behind the whoop. Look at that. That's so stupid. Anyway, such an idiot. Okay, so
seems okay now.
Where was I? All right, let's talk about last night. Okay, so first How do you go down 10 stories your house so quickly? Do you have an elevator? Yes. So, keep saying so. Let me just get started. So last night I went to the Abbey. Story time. Last night I went to the Abbey. For those of you who don't know what the Abbey is, it is a gay bar. It's most famously known as the gay bar to take your straight friends to, because it is where it's just like it's like a bachelorette party place. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let me
finally see you making whatever mysterious food you.
You know what? I'm gonna blast off before this.
Discourse.
I'm finally live. Story time. My wild Saturday night at the Abbey. Then we dive into the news with Ukraine updates, but a more cozy Sunday stream overall. Get in now. Is he coming out? Do you think this is like 1994 when going to a gay bar means that you're gay? Is that what you think it is? Like, is this the Sopranos? Like, what are you? Are you an Italian man? New kitchen cam reveal. Okay, here it is. Can you talk about what happened in Mexico? I don't know what happened in Mexico.
Don't listen to the haters, Hasan. You to go.
Are you a big portly Italian man living in New Jersey in the suburbs in the waste management business, and you think like going to a gay bar is somehow indicative of anything? Oh, there was an earthquake in Mexico? I did not know.
Love you, Hasan. Thanks for making my days better.
You don't want to talk about Mexico? I don't know. Oh no, it's not an earthquake. A soccer game turned into a riot. Anyway, here. Blast off. We're blasting off. Just, retweet this to your friends, your family, your dogs. No suit shopping. No suit shopping for me. I was originally planning on streaming from 11. I was originally planning on waking up early, fixing the computer, playing basketball from 10 to 11. Okay?
Brain rot comment.
And then starting immediately at 11. And then streaming from 11 to like 3.
So brain rotted for
and then afterwards, I was planning on going in and being late to the suit shopping stream that Ludwig is doing right now. Okay? What is this clip?
To the camera, shame on Hasan. And also call him a war profiteer.
Shame on the person who chickened out, Hasan, Mr. Hasan.
Also stop profiteering off the war.
Okay, first of all, I bailed because I wanted to fucking... Okay, announcement time. All right, I had this conversation last night with Ludwig, okay? Okay, here's the reality. You want to know why? Like I said, I was supposed to fucking stream a little bit, and by stream I mean play a little bit of Elden Ring and stream, and then link up with him later. I already have a suit. I have a really sick fucking suit for the award show. So I don't need to get a suit. I was just going to hang out with them, okay? But the reason why I couldn't is because this entire morning I spent my entire morning fucking troubleshooting and fixing the computer and fixing the capture cards and, putting together the kitchen setup. So that's the reason why we couldn't do it. Okay, that's the reason why I did not do it.
18 months.
Were you ever planning on voting on stream for it? Yeah, the streamer awards. We'll vote on it for it on stream. Yes, we will do that as well. So, I had to do all of that sort of stuff, and that's precisely the way. That's precisely the reason why I was not able to make it to that. Okay, so it's for you guys. So I don't want to hear complaints from you. Because it's literally, you are the reason. You are the reason why you know, I prioritize the chat and the content and this community over hanging out. Oh, the voting on it ended? Already? You can vote, I think. It's either too late or today's the last day. Wait, I have to log in with Google to submit? What the fuck?
Hassle.
Okay, I've logged in with Google. I just hid my email. It's so you can't spam. It ends tonight at midnight. Okay. So the reason why I was not able to do this is for this community in this stream. Okay? So that's number one. I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place right now. My brain is a little broken because I'm a little frazzled. And that's why I'm not able to put together normal fucking sentences. But last night, after the stream, I was very angry because I kept getting my ass beat to the fucking dual tree sentinels on Elden Ring, so I ended it abruptly. And then I raided Kefals, who has raised $50,000. Congratulations to her for a trans charity in Texas. Okay. After that, story time. After that, I basically went to a fucking cheese farm location on Elden Ring, and I leveled up like a motherfucker. And then after I leveled up like a motherfucker, I started invading places. And I spent most of my Friday night, my Friday afternoon, until like 11:30, literally just invading people over and over again. Okay? Over and over and over again. And actually ended up doing like 2v1s and 3v1s. Like I actually ended up winning. I had 2 invasions that I won, which was 1v3, and another invasion that I won, which was 1v2. And it was fucking awesome. It was an incredible, incredible experience. It was an incredible feeling. That's good content. Not sure why you don't stream that. I'm going to do that. I will stream that. I was invading like a motherfucker. Okay? And I did this against Godric, like where people are like summoning for the second boss, which is a very hard boss. So it was like a really fucked up place to do that. It was an incredibly fucked up place to invade, which I really like, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep doing that. I'll do that on stream later today as well.
6 months hence.
Okay? It is an immoral place to do an invasion. So I kept doing that. This morning I got the Moonveil Katana, all the stuff, and I'm like level 68 or some shit now. I was like playing like crazy. I was playing.
Happy 10-month anniversary.
I was playing
Hasan.
like crazy.
Your head is normal sized. They are lying to you, King.
Yeah, here people are making fun of me, but I was writing in the offline chat. I was like.
HasanAbi, thank you for stopping Putin.
I was, I was doing all that. And then I wanted to be a good friend to my friend, Austin. So I went to the Abbey. Now, I hate the Abbey. I think it's terrible. I think it's like really...
5 head.
It has nothing to do with it being a gay bar. I used to go to the Abbey all the time. I just think it's really trashy. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm going to keep it real. I think the Abbey is trashy. Okay? Like, there are better, higher quality, like, gay spaces that one can go to that is not a fucking tourist trap and is just basically a destination for... bachelorette parties from Kansas. Okay? It just sucks. It's like Vegas, dude. It's like, I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I used to go all the fucking time. I don't go anymore because I just think it's not, it's not that much fun. And it's ironic because I kind of understand why gay people hate straights going to their bars. Like, I kind of get it. Because we do fuck shit up. Like we make it awful. I mean, not to say that like gay only spaces aren't trashy as fuck, because they abso-fucking-lutely are. You know? But the Abbey, for me, I don't know, it's like lost its appeal a long time ago. I've gone too many fucking times. It just doesn't, I don't like it that much. In any case,
Are we going to see you cook today? Hassle.
no, I'm not gonna cook today. It was just a bit much, so I didn't want to go. I was, you know, but I went anyway. I was there. I hung out a little bit. Everyone was fucking lit, you know. Dollar bills everywhere. They're, you know, putting dollar bills on the dancers.
13 month.
I'm just sitting there sober and tired as a motherfucker, trying to talk to Ludwig, Will, and Myth, and whoever will listen about Elden Ring. Okay? Just like, what was your build? What level were you when you finished the game? How many tries did it take for you to kill Radahn? I found out that Will's a fucking cheater. He's a mage build. He's a magic build, which is, in my opinion, cheating. So, yeah, that's cool. Like, I like also cheating in video games. That's fine. Anyway. And
What's up, little mama? Good to see you.
that's the tweaker shit I be doing. I mean, dude, I'm fucking... I'm tweaking. I'm officially tweaking. Guys, I went from like level fucking 40 last night when I ended the broadcast to like 68, okay? I have played this fucking game non-stop, like literally non-fucking stop. I've been playing this game. Do you understand? Here, anyway, I want to show you something that was insane though, okay? So here it is. Here's my Instagram story. I posted it on my Instagram story, but this is... I go to the Abbey, and everyone's going crazy. Everyone's turning up. And what the fuck do I see, dude? It's like, come on, dude. Can we just like, what are you doing? Like, are you demonstrating solidarity? Is that what's going on? Like, I'm sure the people of Ukraine that are getting fucking bombs dropped on them are like, oh, thank God at the Abbey. They're fucking like, this is what is happening, dude? I feel like we're in post 9/11 America once again, but this time it's for Ukraine. It's like very, very strange behavior. I feel like post 9/11, you would have seen this exact thing about like, you know, never forget 9/11, like at the Abbey in the same way. You know what I mean? Like,
Salam Hasan.
wild. You're becoming old. Why does the Mac sound different? I don't know. Brian made some tweaks, some minor adjustments. A lot of people say they like it more now. So I hope you enjoy it as well. David Guetta be like, we are with you, Ukraine. Shout out to your family. Yeah. David Guetta about to drop the sickest beat on top of Putin. Have him stop the war altogether. You know what I mean? Like, he's about to drop everything. You know what I mean? He's about to end war. No more war. Austin Show. I finally went to my first gay club last night, and all I could do was grind on my girlfriends. I mean, that literally is what he did, which is the gayest thing he could do. So that's some gay. That's straight gay as hell. Okay. So I don't know why he's like. Mike sounds crispy. Maybe different compression or just compression in general. Lol. I don't know. But. Never get the Kim Kardashian sex tape opens with a 9/11 tribute? No, it does not. You just made that up. I don't believe that.
Jesus Hussein Christ.
Anyway, regardless, this is pretty ridiculous. Okay, that was fucking ridiculous, but it fucked up my sleep schedule a little bit. I was so tired. I just did an Irish goodbye. I fucking snuck out. I got You're sounding like Blue Yeti Hasan. Wait, really? Can you clip me real quick? I want to hear what I sound like. This is the embodiment of this tweet? Oh, yeah, dude. Straight up. I want to hear what I sound like. I don't know why people keep saying you sound like Blue Yeti Hasan, because Blue Yeti Hasan is not good. Blue Yeti Hasan is like lower audio quality, so it's like fucking... Regardless, this is pretty ridiculous, okay? That was fucking ridiculous, but it fucked up my sleep schedule a little bit. I was so tired. I just did an Irish goodbye. I fucking snuck out. No, that's fine. It sounds great. What the fuck are you guys talking about? It literally sounds better than before. What? No. I'm not broadcasting the kitchen. Don't worry. I will not broadcast the kitchen for the rest of the day. When you get loud / high pitched, it sounds weird. Maybe the compression. I don't know. When the froggy's in your kitchen. Right, that's real. So yeah, that was interesting, but I am officially old. I just, I'm old. I'm old as fuck. I'm an old man, okay? This was exactly what I was doing at the Abbey. I have the invasion itch. Spent my entire Friday night invading people, summoning before Godric and Elden Ring. It's incredibly thrilling when you 3v1 and win.
Hassle.
Your kitchen next to your stream room? It's close. Yeah, it's like right next to one another. Compared to yesterday. The Constitution. And I'm going to show that to every Russian soldier that's invading right now, and I'm going to tell them, stop it. You fucking stop it right now. It sounds, I don't know. I don't know if it's better or worse. I don't fucking know. I don't really care. Listen. Everything is for you. You got chicken tendies as well. You asked for chicken tendies, no?
Stay hydrated, Arjan and
what the fuck's wrong with some people in the chat? Are they watching in their high definition Dolby audio listening rooms? Yeah, no. A lot of the fucking nerds in the chat have like high quality headphones or whatever, so they are just like, oh, I have noticed a minor difference in the way that your audio sounds, and honestly, it seems like your levels are not adjusted. And remember when you used to pull at the club? So what's your build? Okay, dude. I mean, why is everybody fucking roasting me right now? What, you'd be different if you went to a fucking club? No, you wouldn't. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, listen. It's just, it is what it is. Okay, I'm old. Everybody was having fun. And I was in the corner just like, can we talk about Elden Ring? Like, that's all I wanted. I wanted to talk more about Elden Ring. And that's pretty much all I want to do is Elden Ring, play Elden Ring, talk about Elden Ring. I want to live as an Elden Lord, okay? Regardless, we got some new shit popping off. It's SNL Sunday. We got, updates on Ukraine, but not a lot, to be honest. Not a lot of updates on Ukraine. It seems like the Mariupol evacuation has halted for the second day, and Russian shelling is continuing. So,
16 poggers.
On Sunday, Zelensky warned that Russian forces are preparing to shell the port city of Odessa in what he describes as a historical crime. Over 1.5 million refugees have fled Ukraine in the last 10 days, according to the UN. And Zelensky said he spoke to the U.S. President Joe Biden and discussed military assistance and financial support. Also, the Oibrovs said, once again, we are not sending any troops into the Ukraine. And the same thing goes for America as well. SNL was lame, Hasan. I'm SNL Andy. Can we watch Weekend Update from last week? No. Careful with any Mexico news links. It was insanely violent and super NSFW. Shit's fucked up. What happened in Mexico?
Moon would be proud.
Russian influencers are spreading pro invasion propaganda on TikTok, similar to those local news anchors saying the same line. Skip the club and hang out with Zach.
Escape from town of when?
What is this? I took all my clothes off to fight. I don't care anymore. Farm for stats before even learning how to play the game. U.S. gives green flag for NATO countries to provide jets. Oh, shit. Okay.
Margaret.
Anthony Blinken was on Face the Nation earlier, and you know, the Sunday shows are popping with the more... There was a riot after a soccer game killing multiple people. Okay, well, I'm not going to look at that then. And why would I... some of you just want, like, live leak. Like, you think this is just live leaks. You know? You're like, oh, dude, I need to get my fix on, like, dead bodies on screen or something. You know what I mean? It's like, no, we're not doing that then. We're not going to do that. Can you take a look at this? People don't usually know how racist Denmark is. Every European country has this attitude, okay? Ukrainian refugees, unlike Syrians or Iranians, are likely to be excluded from the controversial Danish jewellery law designed to seize the valuables from those fleeing conflict. The Danish prime minister said her country had a special responsibility to Ukrainians. What the fuck is a jewelry law? I did not know that. That's insane.
Vamos.
They have to hand over their jewelry. If you're brown, we steal your stuff. That's fucking psychotic, dude. I did not know that that was a thing that was going on, but it is pretty shameful and disgusting. Good job, Denmark. Way to go. That's cool. It's like, hey, are you escaping conflict and you need like you need something that you need an asset that you could easily liquidate when you arrive at the host nation? Were you able to do that? Were you able to do that and you know, bring said asset over multiple borders?
And entertained.
Like, I'm pretty sure my grandparents have stories of like the border, the border swapping, immigration swap that happened between Greece and Turkey, where like they literally hid their fucking gold and jewelry and shit in manure, in like baby shit, in diapers and whatever. You know what I mean? Specifically, so that when they came into Turkey, they could have some level of security and some level of cash. It's like a classic immigrant, classic refugee fucking story that I'm sure anyone who has like any kind of refugee,
You're the best.
immigrant or refugee parents knows. It's a lifeline. So that's wild that, you know, people would legislate against this.
Love you, Hasan.
Have you heard about the Brazilian politician that went to Ukraine and said Ukrainian women were easy because they were poor? No. Imagine keystering your jewels only for the fucking Danish to take it away from you. That's fucked up. To be fair, Danish citizens have to do the same if they want to apply for government assistance. Wait, what? They like forcibly liquidate your family jewels and shit if you want to apply for government assistance? That's so weird. That's incredibly fucked up. China hammers into the U.S. indirectly. We had to burn $5,000 and a competent lawyer to apply for asylum / sponsorship. Yeah. It's only on valuables estimated at $1,116 and not one piece was confiscated between 2016 and 2019. Okay. It doesn't matter if they're no longer using it. What matters is they have it. And also, what about after 2019 or before 2016? The point is, why do you have that fucking law? And secondly, if it's over $1,116, then yeah, no, take it. The government should be able to take it. Oops, this is $1,117. I guess it's time to fucking take your jewelry. Anyway. Or it didn't exist before then? Okay, well, what about after 2019? But that's so much more fucked up. If they passed it in 2016, that makes it so much worse. So they like directly passed it for the Syrian refugees, I suspect then. Every new information you're giving me, I don't even know anything about this, but every new information you're giving me is making me feel worse about this story overall, this legislation overall. Anyway, look. Welcome to social welfare. Don't cringe at every governmental influence you're not familiar with. I don't understand this idea that like a welfare state or social welfare implies that you have to be fucking okay, why are they not doing it to Ukrainians then? Like, what do you mean?
Hi Hasan, love what
how
you
about
do
that?
and
Welcome
how
to
you do it.
social welfare. Like,
But
we're
do you
gonna be
think it's
fucking
appropriate to
racist
be
if
tweeting about
you're now
invasions getting
egging me on. I
targeted?
think. Are you
Look
trying
up
to get me
Ukraine
to
see what I'm talking about.
investigate this further and you know?
15 months. Pogi ilu ajan club or no club.
Just lift it overall then. Dude, that's so wild. It's like, it's wild to just have this law to begin with, and it's even more wild to then try to justify it by saying like, oh dude, it's fine. We just, you know, we won't do anything. Shell defends difficult decision to buy Russian crude oil. Yeah, really difficult. What a difficult decision it is for Shell. Shell has defended its decision to purchase Russian crude oil despite the invasion and bombardment of Ukraine. The oil giant said it was in a statement that the decision to purchase fuel at a discounted price was difficult. It confirmed that it had bought a cargo of Russian crude oil on Friday, but it had no alternative. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba hit out at the energy company asking on Twitter, doesn't Russian oil smell like Ukrainian blood for you? I think it does, and they don't care. So, you know, it'd be like that sometimes. Ukrainian foreign minister said that so far Western countries have not imposed sanctions on Russian oil imports, fearing it will drive up the already record high energy prices around the world. But on Sunday, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said the U.S. was now in active discussions with European partners about banning them, while also maintaining a steady global supply. Russia is the world's second top producer of crude oil after Saudi Arabia and supplies about a third of Europe's needs. I am told today that Shell discreetly bought some Russian oil yesterday. Well, not so discreetly anymore, I guess. Commenting on its move, Shell said it was forced to buy oil from Russia in order to maintain timely supplies of fuel to Europe. The firm said it remains appalled by the war in Ukraine and has stopped most activities involving Russian oil, but it added that the situation with supplies is highly complex. Russian oil currently makes up about 8% of Shell's working supplies. One of the firm's refineries, which produces diesel and petrol and other products, is also among the biggest in Europe. To be clear, without an uninterrupted supply of crude oil to refineries, the energy industry cannot assure continued provision of essential products to people across Europe over the weeks ahead, a spokesperson said. Guys, we have to do it. I don't understand. Guys, 50% of the Russian revenue comes from fossil fuels, including crude oil, and not limited to, but including crude oil. And we just can't cut that off. because the rest of the world will suffer a lot, and we don't want to do that. Okay, we just don't want to do that. Come on. Imperialist perspective on Fox News about Russia's military capabilities.
Damage.
Oh, I heard this one. I think Zelensky's a puppet and needs to accept reality. Yeah, I don't really fucking care. Okay, we'll get to that in a little bit. Let me finish this first. Cargoes from alternative sources would not have arrived on time to avoid disruptions to market supply. Oh, man. Our hands are tied, boys. Our hands are fucking tied, okay? Do you understand? It's tied behind our backs.
Smile.
You don't understand. Market disruptions would occur. You don't understand. Further market disruptions would occur, and that is completely unacceptable. We cannot turn the faucet on profits down. Okay, we cannot take an L.
Half a year, baby.
We
Let's
cannot.
go, love you, daddy.
We cannot. Change our profit margin on this. Come on, it's a big deal. You gotta fucking. They should talk to Venezuela. I think they will. Imagine as a consequence of this, they're like, hey, Venezuela, actually, we were just kidding about the global sanctions that we put on you. Turns out it's actually pretty chill. Can you please supply us with some oil? I would totally see that happening, okay? Yeah, I can absolutely see that. Juan Guaidó crying. Goop, senior Biden administrative officials are traveling to Venezuela today to meet with Maduro's regime. It's part of an effort to drive a wedge between Venezuela and Russia, and is the highest level visit by U.S. officials to Caracas in years. I wonder why. I wonder why that's happening. Oh, wait, I do know why it's happening. It's happening because they need oil wherever the fuck they can. Wherever the fuck they can get it from. And now they're like, yeah, Putin, we're gonna be able to sanction you once we secure some oil from other places. Dude, I fucking despise. I absolutely fucking despise the United States of America and Western nations. They have starved the Venezuelan people aggressively for the longest fucking time. They said Maduro's the biggest dictator on the planet. There's no one worse than him. He's literally Hitler. And now, and by the way, Maduro has always had a decent relationship with Russia. Also had a decent relationship with Turkey. It's just, just remind yourself of that as well. Part of the reason why I had a decent relationship with Russia is because it was completely cut out from the global marketplace. And Maduro himself is a piece of shit. Okay? He is. He's not great. Certainly. But that doesn't change the reality that you can't starve an entire fucking nation. You can't starve an entire nation's people. Okay? Except you can, and America regularly does. Okay? You shouldn't, but you do. You do all the fucking time. Venezuela has to see through this, though? No. I mean, if it's going to normalize Venezuela's relationships in the international market, then fucking why shouldn't they do that? They should. I just think it's disgusting, dude. Is this a common thing in American politics? First of all, this isn't a common thing in just American politics. This is just a common thing in politics. You know what this is a common thing in? Capitalism, okay? What you are seeing, what you are being described right now, in incredibly reductive and very simple terms, is the application of a materialist analysis on international relations, okay? It is the leftist position, which doesn't look at idealistic notions of like good or evil, but instead looks to who is making money, how, where is the profit motive, and how can we improve it, okay? How are commodities being produced, and how could that commodity production become more efficient by capitalist standards, i.e., how could the profit motive be improved in this circumstance? So, There's a reason why we have, in the most grotesque way
Can you tell us
possible,
about the charity you
starved
are
out the
working
people
with
of
for Ukraine?
Venezuela, okay? And have said that, like, you know, Maduro is the worst fucking person on the planet, whatever, and he's not a good leader, but on this, in the same vein, have no problem whatsoever with Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, okay?
Family hassle.
Think about that. Think about that for a second. MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, actually, you said leftist describing capitalism on accident, I think. Wait, what? No, this is how you describe capitalism. Yes. What do you guys think Das Kapital is? It's an analysis of the relations to production, the means of production that workers have and the bourgeois have under a capitalist organization of the economy. That is literally what it is. It is just objective analysis on how capitalism operates.
They're looking good today, King.
It's not like, you know, there isn't, if you look at it in simple terms, there is no moralistic value associated with it. It's just, you can literally read it as, this is how things work. You can read it and learn from it and say, this is great, actually, if you want. It'll be really hard for you to recognize that, of course. It'll be hard for you to look at that and go, wow, this is actually good. I don't think you'll feel that way, but it is still, the analysis still is true and real and happening all around us. Anyway, let's see what Jeffrey Sachs had to say about a study that he conducted in 2019 on the effects of sanctions on Venezuela, showing it had killed at least 40,000 people. Okay, here he talks about how the U.S. waged this economic terror campaign on Venezuela. Let me just like skim through this really quick to see if there's any like. Okay, no, it doesn't seem like it. Here, let's watch.
So the U.S. government has been trying to strangle the Venezuelan economy. It started with sanctions in 2017 that prevented essentially the country from accessing international capital markets and the oil company from restructuring its loans. That put Venezuela into a hyperinflation. That was the utter collapse. Oil earnings plummeted. The earnings that are used to buy food and
this death spiral is, in some ways, this death spiral is what creates more authoritarian leadership in countries. Think about the way that we are currently going through, or think about post 9/11 America. Think about World War II, like what you've seen throughout history in the aftermath or during World War II. Anything that ever was seen as not contributing to the war effort was immediately like punishable. Right? These are countries, unlike America, unlike Western liberal democracies, capitalist democracies, that are constantly waging war. Okay, from their perspective, they are constantly waging war against imperialist capitalist democracies that are either enforcing economic imperialism upon them or directly doing this, starving them out. Okay, democracies in air quotes, whatever. Starving out their people, starving them out regularly, shutting them off in the global marketplace, not allowing them to do anything to even control their own currency, not allowing them, rendering them unable to combat inflation. Okay, and we do this to many countries. We do this to Iran, we do this to Venezuela, we do this to Yemen. And the reality is, for those of you saying Venezuela was starving before the sanctions, there is truth to that. Yes, foreign capital flight was part of the reason why Venezuela was already in a shitty position overall. The Venezuelan economy under Chavez was not able to diversify quickly enough, okay? And once nationalization kicked in of the extraction industries in an identical capacity to Iran, we decided it's fucking over. There were internal contradictions. There were internal forces in the form of billionaires within Venezuela and the wealthy within Venezuela that also wanted to, collaborate with foreign capital and do everything they could. That's why when Chavez originally was taken down by the United States of America, the immediate recognition of the fucking president of the Chamber of Commerce came from U.S. U.S. was the first country that recognized the puppet leadership in Venezuela that lasted for what, 24 fucking hours before the entire nation rose up and protested that decision. So that is common practice.
Depressive for families from both places.
That's common practice for the United States of America, and it's really, really devastating. The only reason why I'm bringing it up is because you're watching it happen to another country with like a lot of access to the internet. With Russians, Russian people, probably have friends in Russia. You know people that have been destroyed or are in the process of being destroyed by these sorts of sanctions. Because the ultimate goal of sanctions are to create instability in a country, no matter what, starve a nation, so you'll create a ample opportunity to have like a violent revolution. Okay, our access to Venezuela and the understanding of like Chavistas, for example, the understanding, the perspective of the poor Venezuelans is incredibly diminished. Unlike in Russia, you can hear the liberal side of Russians who are anti-Putin, but despise like American sanctions and whatnot. You can hear from them directly, so it's a little bit different. Whereas you don't hear that side on Venezuela ever. You only hear Venezuelans who have escaped Maduro and Venezuelans who have maybe a little bit more financial security. Venezuelans that live in the United States. And like I said, Maduro, not a great dude, okay? Straight up, not a great dude. Maduro is no Chavez. A lot of people hate Chavez as well. Maduro is not great, okay? But we make things worse by implementing sanctions such as this one, okay? We make these countries more authoritarian and place them on this death spiral, seeking aid from whoever they can. Okay? Seeking aid from whoever they can and align with whoever they can. Whoever they will trade with, they will trade with. Okay? And also clamp down even further on protests and any sort of activity that they consider to be, sometimes legitimately and sometimes illegitimately, American CIA State Department activity. Okay? Anyway. Having said that, though, Maduro, not so bad anymore, turns out. Let's watch this. Let's watch what Jeffrey Sachs' analysis on sanctions are, according to his 2019 study that he conducted that killed 40,000 Venezuelans, these sanctions themselves.
Medicine collapsed. That's when the social humanitarian crisis went spiraling out of control. And then in this year is with this idea, very naive, very stupid in my view, that there would be this self-proclaimed president, which was all choreographed with the United States very, very closely. Another round of even tighter sanctions, essentially confiscating the earnings and the assets of the Venezuelan government took place. Now Venezuela's in complete, utter catastrophe. A lot of it brought on by the United States deliberately, creating massive, massive suffering. We know there's hunger. We know there's incredible shortage of medical supplies. We can only imagine, because we won't know really until the dust settles and careful studies are done, how much excess mortality there is. But surely in a context like this, this is a catastrophe largely created by the U.S. because, as was said earlier, this is an all-or-nothing strategy. What Trump just doesn't understand, and what Bolton, of course, never agrees to, is the idea of negotiations. This is an attempt at an overthrow. It's very crude, it's not working, and it's very cruel because it's punishing 30 million people.
Hey, turns out, not cruel enough, baby. Hey, remember when this happened, by the way? Remember when this happened, too? Remember Nancy Pelosi, girl boss, clapping?
Hear this evening.
Bipartisan support, always for America's foreign interests. It's so strange.
He's a very
Thanks for
brave
the
man
content.
who carries with him the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of all Venezuelans.
And they'll fucking bully you relentlessly. They'll say whatever the fuck they can. If you have a point of view that goes beyond, that deviates beyond the norm, even if you recognize the brutality of certain regimes, while simultaneously admitting, like in North Korea, for example, another country that's like destroyed by fucking sanctions, global sanctions, like, why the fuck are we doing this? Like, we are not allowing them to democratize or liberalize, rather, if you want to think about it from a fucking capitalist, lib-brain, idealistic point of view. We're not allowing these countries to collaborate with the rest of the planet. It is psychotic. It is bloodthirsty. It is violent. But much like a no-fly zone, people do not recognize what the implications are, what the consequences of sanctions are. That's why leftists will often say sanctions are an act of war. Okay, look at Iran, another country, exactly.
Joining us in the gallery is the true and legitimate president of Venezuela, Juan Guaidó.
Yeah, remember Juan Guaidó, the American puppet, who did have some constitutional leeway to actually institute, democratically, according to the Venezuelan constitution, at the very least, another election with another leader. And instead, he spent all of the time in the interim period where he did have like a brief window going around and petitioning Western nations, telling them that he was going to privatize their oil extraction industry. Remember that Guaido did that? Remember when Guaido did that? Instead of fucking trying to, instead of trying to fucking, I don't know, do anything, like do anything for Venezuelans other than we are going to privatize the extraction industries in its entirety. Interesting. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi leaped out of her fucking seat. What a girl boss.
Us in the gallery is the
You make it seem like it's always about the oil. Oil is just oil is just what the fucking resource-rich nations are capable of producing. That's just what it is. I mean, there's lithium as well. That's another conversation that we can have. But that's what makes the world go around. Unless we do something about our reliance on fossil fuels, that's going to continue being the main thing. It's our energy. It's energy. It's the most important thing. You can't fucking produce anything if you don't have energy, okay?
4 months. Haven't been in here much lately because of school and stress such hassle.
In the past, it was fucking spice. I guess like someone would have been like, well, why must you always talk about spices? Oh, spice this, spice that. What you fail to recognize is that we are civilizing the Indian barbarians. These Orientals deserved the civilizing force of becoming a colony. Spice this, spice that. Oh, it's not about the spice.
Keck white.
It's about civilizing these brutes. People say colonialism is wrong and abhorrent. I say it is necessary. It's a necessary evil. Anyway.
What's wrong with being an angry prophet denouncing the hypocrisy of our times?
There you go. Is that better? Tea. People like to talk about tea. It's not about tea. It's about civilizing these godless. It's about teaching them about Christianity. Civilizing these godless tribal folk.
Let's go.
But it's still technically about spice. It's technically about tea. It's technically about oil. Okay? It's just, you know, they add that as seasoning.
Wow.
So, regardless. You can keep believing other shit, though. But it is about energy.
True and legitimate president of Venezuela, Juan Guaidó.
Hey,
Mr. President, please take this message back to your family.
Yeah, fuck are you doing over here, bro? Like, go save Venezuela, dumbass. I mean, he was so feckless and so ineffective and so bad that like he was able to like, think about this. We talk about like Vladimir Putin being authoritarian, evil, yada yada, and he is, right? But like Vladimir Putin would have murked and has murked the Guaido equivalent in Russia numerous fucking times. Whereas like Maduro, for all of his faults, did not do that. Okay? Like he was able to literally keep him alive. That's how much of a fucking out and about, transparent puppet he was, no matter how much Venezuelans in diaspora claim that he was the real leadership, okay? That's how bad this motherfucker was. That's how bad he was.
Thank you, Mr. President. Great honor. Thank you very much. Please take this message back that all Americans are united with the Venezuelan people in their righteous struggle for freedom. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Yeah, dude. Sick. Dude, yo. My face when you fucking try to do a coup and it fails spectacularly because of some fishermen, dude. My lord, how much we have fallen. Remember when Connecticut's very own, what's this fucking face? I keep forgetting it. Famously said, we tried to do a soft coup, a bit of a soft coup in Venezuela, and failed. We tried to do a bit of a soft coup in Venezuela and failed because, yeah, Chris Murphy, because of Donald Trump's incompetence. I would argue that CIA was at its best under Trump's mismanagement. Yeah, dude. Trump loves Venezuela because he used to hang out there a lot in the 80s and the locals even named his favorite beach spot after him. True story. Wait, really? I am from Iran. I understand what you're saying, but I don't understand what needs to be done. But I legit cannot find a case where a sanction resulted in anything. Apartheid South Africa. People that are starving cannot operate a revolution. No, that's not true either. Especially when the cause of the starvation is directed by a foreign superpower that bullies others for resources. That is true. So, no, starving people create a incredible opportunity for that volatility caused by starvation is a beautiful opportunity for regime change. Okay? Beautiful opportunity for regime change. Part of the reason why America stays stable regardless is because of its price stability. That's how you create an environment for regime change. Okay? Beautiful from the point of view, by the way, of the American government, the fucking bloodthirsty vultures, parasites. Every single revolution throughout history has happened as a consequence of starvation. Not having your freedoms, not being able to control your own food supply, your own destiny, your own humanity. Okay? That's not true at all. Maji, stop spreading fake news, please, Hasan. Yeah, you're right. Revolutions happen as a consequence of Twitch streamers, actually. Yeah.
Is it true Murat beat Elden Ring without being hit at soul level 1?
Do you think it's possible to starve Russia's offensive capability before starving its people? No. Anyway, more people should study about the French Revolution. People could not even eat bread at that point. You don't care. A policeman is pointing a rifle at you. What is this? I've killed a Gorillion dungeon mini bosses named like Pestilent Globule and Pulsating Sack in Elden Ring, and I've made probably 0.7% main story progress. I just love dungeons. This is a perfect game. Yeah, it's awesome. Love attempting an optional boss 40 times before I kill it and then get some reward. I don't even know what it is and make basically zero progress in the main storyline, whatever that even is. Killing Tree Sentinel is when I realize I'm completely in love with this game, and after that, I'm going to think about it every second I am away from it.
14 months hassle.
I mean, it literally is. That is how it is. Yeah. Anyway, God, it's such a beautiful game. I can't stop thinking about it either.
My daily brain rot hassle.
But people making money off the war in Ukraine is my second favorite streamer. What is this? Kitboga, the most pathetic TikTok trend ever. Hey, Haas, apparently Poland is not going to allow transfer of planes. This is from their government as of today. Not surprising, not shocking in the least bit. It is because Russia has stated that it is a declaration of war. It's an act of war if they are offering, planes. The Polish government denies plans to hand over fighters to Ukraine. Poland will not send fighters to Ukraine and will not allow the use of its airfields, the government in Warsaw said, denying earlier reports. Oh, Trump had a brilliant take about, I saw this. This is a fucking awesome fire take too. But anyway, getting back to the sanctions, okay? Getting back to how, getting back to where we were at. There's a reason why we didn't sanction the most important shit, which is energy, okay? And there's a reason why we might normalize relationships with Venezuela again. So look at that. Wow. I like to look at the positive.
Thank you for fundraising for
I like to
Ukraine.
look at the positives here, okay? I like to look at the silver lining here, okay? And the silver lining here in the situation is at least maybe Venezuela will be able to participate in the global marketplace again. So look at that, boys. Look the fuck at that. How crazy. How strange. U.S. officials travel to Venezuela, a Russia ally, as the West isolates Putin. The trip is his highest level visit by the American officials. I wonder why. I wonder why.
Almost to a full year of being a HasanAbi head. Thank you for being less cringe than other peeps, Dad.
Senior U.S. officials are traveling to Venezuela on Saturday to meet with the government of Nicolas Maduro, according to people familiar with the matter, as the Biden administration steps up efforts to separate Russia from its remaining international allies. That's bullshit. The reason why they're doing this is because oil, okay? Is because oil. They are talking about normalizing relationships with Venezuela, probably easing up on some of the fucking sanctions so that they can turn around, okay? So they can fucking turn around and get oil from them to cut out Russia, so that they can normalize prices and ultimately be able to sanction Russia without taking a fucking haircut. Okay? That's it. Stop spreading fake news, my G. Love you, dog. Peace. You know what I'm saying. Okay, I'm banning this person. I think his brain is not okay. I'm going to give you a day off. Just think about what you've said. I don't know what the fuck you're saying. Dude, can you cover real news? Like, why hasn't Duncan come out with an Elden Ring video yet? Because he's probably playing Elden Ring nonstop, which is what I want to be doing as well. How much does Russia depend on foreign imports? Such a large country that I wasn't sure how self-sustaining they are. I don't know. We're also having another convo with discussing a possible visit to Saudi Arabia this spring to help repair relations and convince the kingdom to pump more oil. Axios has learned. Remember, in the lead up to this, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, there was an OPEC Plus meeting, and the American authorities in the lead up to that tried to get Saudi Arabia and other OPEC countries to pump more oil, pump more gas, oil, or petrol. Okay, they desperately wanted that to happen even before Russia did what it decided to do.
Still mad after rage quitting Elden Ring.
So, just remember that this is precisely the reason for why they're doing this is so they can cut out Russia from the equation, but OPEC Plus is probably not going to increase their supply when they are benefiting greatly from the current cartel that they have, the current the oligopoly that they currently have over energy production. Why the fuck would they? Why would they literally cut into their profit margin? You know, why? That's a list of war crimes that we have helped Saudi Arabia do in Yemen. He's hugging a binder full of Saudi Arabian war crimes that we have helped. Like, look alive, Jack. Look alive, Jack. I love war crimes. I love war crimes so much. I love starving out the population of Yemen. I love it. My favorite thing to do, Jack. The whole jet situation seems fishy as fuck at this point. Everyone loves telling Poland will provide jets, and then Poland says it won't. What the fuck? Well, Poland is a little bit closer in proximity than some of these other nations to Russia, so I see why they wouldn't want to do that. I understand they also hate, whole USSR and their understandable, or their hatred for Russia runs deep, but not so much that they're going to turn around and put themselves in involve themselves in war. Poland's like, listen, they're not like Russians either, but hey, maybe nuclear war is not so good. No one wants nuclear war, dude. Will Brandon get to touch a blowing ball like Trump did? Maybe. On the other side of the conversation, Iran denuclearization talks are actually proving to be very successful, apparently. There is that angle here, too. It's like Russia single-handedly is allowing America to take or forcing America's hand to take a much more positive approach to all of our prior foreign adversaries that are the worst people on the planet, according to, American media. All of a sudden, they're not so bad. You know what I mean? It's great, actually. Wait, so Iran is failing your rule? I mean, my rule is a joke, obviously. Like, I am a fan of denuclearization in general. So I have long admitted that Barack Obama's signature foreign policy accomplishment was probably the denuclearization agreement. That was a really complicated and really long process that they absolutely fucking nailed. And the other one was normalizing trade relations with Cuba, or starting that process. So,
hey Hasan, have you seen the H3 parody of Ethan Buring in Elden Ring? Dan is a cheating mage. Disgusting.
Iran doesn't have anything beyond a 60% enriched uranium. They continue to not have a nuclear weapons program, even though it should be their right as a sovereign nation in the modern nuclear world. I agree.
Yo, Hasan.
Either no one has nukes or everyone has nukes. That's fine. Russia began active preparations for disconnection from the global internet no later than March 11th. All servers and domains must be transferred to the Russian zone. In addition, detailed data on network infrastructure of the sites being collected. Oh, they're cutting off. It seems like they're cutting off from the rest of the planet.
When is leftovers coming back?
Bro, this is different than this is different than North Korea, okay? This is not the Hermit Kingdom, all right? This is like a gigantic, it's a still an energy producer, still a relative superpower, you know what I mean? With complicated trade relations with the rest of the world. It's one with 6,000 nuclear warheads.
В 2015 году в Донецке установлен мемориал аллеи ангелов.
Интернет и сети уже давно стали средством информационной войны.
За время войны погиб.
So this is like Russian, this is the Russian TikTok. Hold on, let me translate what they're saying. At the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for $5, or you can do that for free with a Twitch Prime. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you can get one free Prime subscription a month. Or if you're lucky, you can get gifted a sub. That's crazy. Why are they saying that? How would they have known? How would they have known? Agua Miguel, thank you for allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads. That's crazy that they knew that was going on, and that, like, I read that at the. I mean, I played that so perfectly on the top of the hour. That's a wild situation. Huh. Interesting. Here's the 1 minute ad break now, by the way. Those of you. Oh, God, this shit is so fucking stupid. Breaking. Russia publishes documents which show Ukraine was working on biological weapons near Russian borders, such as anthrax and plague, and the Pentagon is instructed to destroy them, violating Article 1 UN prohibition of biological weapons. These are U.S.-funded labs. I don't know if this is true or not, but I do know that ASB is like a fucking pro-Russia OSINT account, but I also don't believe it because Jimmy Dore and shit were talking about it. You know? I don't know what the fuck, I don't know what that is about, but that is incredibly sussy, okay? Like, I've been pretty fucking open-minded, and not only that, but I've also, I think I've done a decent job parsing through a lot of the misinformation, okay? Where... parsing through the misinformation where, like, if something is heavy-handed, I tell you. If something feels heavy-handed, I tell you. I'm like, yeah, this seems a little sussy to me, boys. Like, a little crazy, okay? A little crazy. Let's dial it back a little bit. You know? I don't know if the ghost of Kiev is real. But also, you know, that's just some fucking Russian
99,999.
They've also said Ukraine's working on a dirty bomb. I know. That is American ass. That is American ass propaganda, boys. Come on. You've heard this before. You're an American. Literally heard the WMD argument before. It's bullshit. Bruce Wayne's 10 speed. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Buckle up. Due to Putin's miserable failure to justify Russia's war against Ukraine, fakes like these will be pouring out of Russia nonstop. These just came out in their state media. There's reason to believe that the United States transferred plutonium to Kyiv, the source said. Yeah, I've never heard this one before, dude. What a crazy one. Dude, it's like, I'm sorry, dude. America is so 2008 and you're so 2008, okay? Like, what is this? You can't just copy paste exactly what we have done. Okay, you can't do that. Like, just come up with something new, dog. What the fuck? Get your own thing. Make something else up. Say that they have like nuclear bears with lasers on their head, with Canadian flags that they are flying. They have trained, I don't know, monkeys to take over and kill the population. They have a zombie virus that they're working on in an umbrella corporation. You know what I mean? Like there's so many cool new ways of just making up reasons as to why you need to invade a foreign country. And they're just like going with the most basic bullshit, old school, just idiotic fucking take. The Ukraine biolab theory was no different than a million other deranged half-baked conspiracy theories coming from the QAnon community. This one seems to have caught on because it lets Putin-loving Q believers justify Russian war crimes. Yeah, whatever. It's just... Like, if you're going to make shit up, why don't you make up something cool? Okay? What is this? I can't look at this. Thank God. There's a content warning. Today, a family of 4 parents and 2 children were killed in Irpin as they were trying to leave the city. We will not forgive. We will not forget. I don't know what happened there, but I'll be honest, man. I dig you rocking the ponytail and beard. Makes your head look so small. Keep the beard strong, brother. Yeah, I will.
36 months, 3 more years, Pog.
The biolab theory shit is unhinged because both the crazy far leftists are saying it and the
I have been
right wing QAnon freaks are
about the history of the conflict with my 8th graders.
Russia will work more and more with China. Yeah, no shit. Of course they are. No, they should kill and die. You know, they should let their entire population fucking starve because they can't purchase shit. Of course they're gonna fucking work with China. This is like. What are they supposed to do? Like, that's some dumb shit. If you're like, oh, I can't believe they're able to get around the sanctions and allow their citizens to purchase things because Visa and MasterCard are no longer working. So now they're working with China's UnionPay, which is the 3rd largest, by the way. And it's going to fucking keep growing after this. But why would China want to work with Russia? I wonder why China would want to work with Russia. The Sino-Soviet relations have never been better, boys. Okay, god damn. You know, I know that we never forgave. We never forgave them for betraying the Leninist application of
Hasan,
Marxist principles, but
that the only way to get
time
rid
to
of rot in Elden
it's
Ring
time
is
to
by
fucking
performing Wudu.
It's time to make a Sino-Soviet revival, okay? It's unsplit. That's right. That's right, boys. It's happening. Pull up the super gay Sino-Soviet propaganda. Wait, really? There's a super gay one? What is this? Let's play a game called Communist Posters. Oh, yeah. Communist propaganda posters are gay couple vacation pics. Oh, this one, right? Is this fucking... Yeah, this is gay as hell. I've only seen the first one because people used to make fun of me and Will and say, this is me and Will. Man, Soviet posters are so good, though. Holy shit. As much as I hate brutalist architecture, I fucking love Soviet agitprop. Crazy that we didn't ban them from SWIFT completely, but our U.S. corporations quickly did the State Department's bidding. I mean, I think it's vice versa.
Those
but
were some wicked examples. Thanks for 7
for
months of
the
content.
most part. I think it's a collaborative relationship where the corpo side oftentimes has profoundly more influence over the government side than vice versa. But when it comes to foreign policy, because the bourgeois capital-owning class understands that the bourgeois capitalist state has their best interests at heart, they will follow along with their foreign policy. Brutalist architecture is peak human achievement. Cringe leftist. Shut the fuck up, okay? It's dog shit. I'm sorry. I said it. It needed to be said once again. Go to Berlin, dude. Please look at the buildings there. It is so gray. It's so dull. It's so bad. I'm sorry. it's not good. It's not good. I said it. I said it again, and I will keep saying it. I do not like brutalist architecture. I'm sorry. I'm
Take
sorry.
my money, big himbo.
Okay? Out of all the European cities I've been to, and I've been to many, and there are beautiful, beautiful fucking cities. Oh my Lord. Oh God. Barcelona is incredible. London, Chelsea, incredible. Just, you know, especially as someone who's been living in America, I've been starved for like, you know, relatively well-preserved cities. In comparison to the United States, by the way, Paris, fuck. London sucks. Let me fay out. You guys think London sucks because you are fucking incredibly spoiled, okay? You're spoiled and you're selfish and
So
you've
happy to
grown
miss top of
fat
the hour ads now.
with the culture that you see in every fucking inch, in every ounce of your beautifully designed cities that have been around for a very long fucking time, okay? The skeletons of English cities are Roman. You know what I mean? That's like America just fucking Vienna is beautiful too. America just fucking built cities like on crack. Okay, you spoiled little shits. You don't understand. You don't understand what it's like. Come live here. It's literally one parking lot next to another. Okay, it's fucking disgusting. It's literally just a consortium of strip malls that look gray and dull, or not even gray, tan. It's like tan colored. Ugh. And it fucking sucks. Absolutely. And then you go to Zurich and you're like, what the fuck is this shit, dude? Holy fuck. It's perhaps best demonstrated. Like, the colonialist efforts obviously are not demonstrated in the cuisines of the countries that we talk about, because like the empires historically and notoriously have dog shit food, but it is best demonstrated, that wealth is best demonstrated in the cities. Okay, have you ever been to Zurich? Yes, I have.
Hey Hasan, can you confirm that you are turning your head because you hear the voices coming from your left too? I know how to get.
Aesthetic architecture is pure truth coming from your mouth. It's not even just architecture; it's city planning too. Oh yeah, the very dog shit food of France. Okay, fair. France is different. France is cheat codes unlocked though. Like people say, oh, French cuisine is not bad. It's like, yeah, okay, I can cheat too. It's fucking literally butter and garlic. What are you talking about? Like, everything is good. It's like saying Italian food. Yeah, you know shit. It's good, dude. It's fucking carbs. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Motherfucker, you eat bugs when it's fucking doused in that level of butter and garlic. I eat bugs. I've eaten snail, okay? It's so goddamn good. It's a cheat. It's a cheat code. Straight up. British food, on the other hand, suffering, okay, from just pain. So awful. Not even edible. Don't know. Boiled chicken with mashed peas, bruv, on the side. Jellied eel. Beans on fucking toast, yeah. It's all right.
Question mark. 3 months. Fog.
Yeah, I fancy a bread sandwich. Anyway, let's listen. Let's watch the the beans on toast equivalent of political commentary from friend of the show, one of our favorites, Cuck Todd.
Rule out the no-fly zone.
Wow, that's the audio is really.
Think it's possible.
3 months. Love you, Ajan Dankies.
Why rule out the no-fly zone? Why not make Putin think it's possible?
I wonder why. Let's think for a moment. And I posted about this on my Instagram story last night. There was a YouGov study there was a YouGov poll that was conducted, okay, that I found to be really, really, really interesting, okay? I found to be really, really strange, really interesting. The YouGov poll showed, and we've covered it before, I believe, on the stream as well, but the YouGov poll showed that...
At HasanAbi,
where
10
is it?
months. You
Here.
helped me through dark
The
times.
YouGov poll from a couple days back showed there is net support in the United States for sanctions, sending money to Ukraine, sending weapons to Ukraine, sending troops to NATO countries, and a no-fly zone at plus 25. Ukraine in NATO, plus 20. Cyber attack on Russia is at 0. Send soldiers to help, not fight, minus 5. Drones on Russia, minus 19. Airstrike Russia, minus 33. Send soldiers to fight, minus 35. Now, the reason why Americans, and I'm not faulting them, I am faulting, however, Cuck Todd and the media. The reason why I am not faulting Americans for this is because we have very deliberately and very carefully in our media manufactured consent and have made no-fly zones seem like something entirely different than boots on the ground military warfare. For some reason, well, not for some reason, because we do this to Libya. We try to do it in Syria. We try to do it in other countries. So we have to justify doing it so people don't fucking think what no-fly zones actually are. And you can do a no-fly zone for countries that you can bully mercilessly with your imperial war machine, but you can't do that to fucking Russia. For the same reason that you can't actually fucking put boots on the ground inside of Ukraine and get into an active hot war with Russia. No-fly zone and sending soldiers in the fight are the exact same thing. Because people don't understand what a no-fly zone is. Chuck Todd knows better, but he's a fucking piece of shit, and he's lying to the American people. He's misinforming the American people. Okay? A no-fly zone means you have to enforce it. It means you have to have planes, American planes or NATO country planes, flying sometimes from NATO countries into Ukrainian airspace and shoot down Russian planes. Okay? That is how no-fly zones work, but Americans don't know this. Okay? And the reason why they don't know this, the reason why they don't understand it, and I do not fault them for this, is because clearly if they didn't think of the consequences, if they didn't think of the consequences of a fucking sending soldiers in the fight, they wouldn't say they wouldn't say minus 35 on that. You get it? They get World War III. They get nuclear holocaust. They get that this will cause that. But they think this is different than this. It's because we've done it time and time again, and it's because we've propagandized no-fly zones as though it's something different than boots on the ground military warfare. No-fly zones have to be enforced by American pilots if we're doing it with Americans. They have to be enforced by with American air superiority. They have to be enforced by shooting down Russian fighter jets. Okay? It's not some magical barrier. You don't go Wingardium Leviosa on Ukraine and it fucking, lift up Ukraine. Okay? It's not Harry Potter. It's war.
Gigahaz.
But people don't get that, which is what people want. No, they don't. They don't want that. If I were to describe what a no-fly zone is to many people, and I have so far, people have asked me literally in the DMs, since I've posted that, like, what the fuck is the difference? Like, I don't really understand this. Like, can you explain this to me? And every time I have this conversation, people recognize it's like, oh, shit, I had no idea. My bad. And that is an anecdote that corresponds to the data. Because the data shows that they clearly have a different perspective on sending troops in, but they don't have that same perspective on a no-fly zone.
Hassle.
First, again, my admiration for President Zelensky has no bounds. And if I were in his shoes, I'd be asking and looking for everything possible from everyone in every place around the world. And as I said, what we've already done is extraordinary. And just to remind people, over the past year alone, from the United States alone, more than $1 billion in security assistance, lethal defensive weapons that are being put to very effective service by Ukrainians now in defense of their country, and other measures that we're looking at going forward. Just in the last week alone, Chuck, we have delivered more than $200 million worth of security assistance into the hands of Ukrainians. So all of that is ongoing, all of that's continuing. The President's been very clear about one thing all along as well, which is we're not going to put the United States in direct conflict with Russia, not have American planes flying against Russian planes, or our soldiers on the ground in Ukraine, because for everything we're doing for Ukraine, the President also has a responsibility to not get us into a direct conflict, a direct war with Russia, a nuclear power, and risk a war that expands even beyond Ukraine.
Wow. Even the fucking warmongers are saying this. I wonder if we will learn a lesson from this. Probably not. I'm sure that the media, which has a responsibility to accurately tell the truths and to accurately disseminate information, will do their due diligence and describe the difference between a no-fly zone, or rather the similarities between a no-fly zone and just like fucking the likelihood of World War III happening in the aftermath of boots-on-the-ground military warfare and hot war between Russia and any NATO country due to Article 5. Probably not, though. Probably Cuck Todd will keep fucking crying and saying, oh, let's go. Let's get it. You know, no-fly zone, baby. Let's do it.
To Europe. That's clearly not our interest. What we're trying to do is end this war in Ukraine, not start a larger one.
Let me ask you this.
And by the way, keep in mind what keep in mind what a no-fly zone. Just so people understand too, what a no-fly zone means. It means that if you declare a space no-fly and a Russian plane flies through it, it means we have to shoot it down.
Wait, why didn't they fucking describe it like this when they were talking about Libya? That's interesting. I wonder why. I wonder why the expectation of a no-fly zone was like way fucking higher. That's crazy, man. It's weird. It's like, oh, because Libya can't do anything. That's right. It's because they don't have fucking nukes. Oh, that's totally, dude. There you go. That's why the HasanAbi doctrine stands. Okay, if you want to make sure that you can have a fucking, make sure that you have any sort of sovereignty, any sort of autonomy from Western imperialist superpowers that want to fuck your shit up, gotta get nukes, my boy. Rule number 1: get those motherfucking nukes, baby. Russia is recruiting Syrians for urban combat in Ukraine, U.S. officials say. Moscow is looking to help from foreign fighters to take cities, including Kyiv. Nice. Okay, that's cool. That won't be bad. That seems good. I'm stealing that Orochimaru joke, by the way. I just did the yoinking jutsu, okay? Yeah, it's called the yoinking your meme jutsu. The Americans think this is how a no-fly zone works. Didn't the BBC explain that that they would need to shoot any anti-aircraft vehicles and SAM equipment on the ground too, and these could be placed outside the zone but still fire into it? All seems to get even more complicated. Yes. Doinking no jutsu. Hasingan? Yeah, exactly. Anyway, let's hear from yet another politician that would normally be hyper fucking reactionary, bloodthirsty, just salivating from the mouth on potentially doing more war. Let's hear what he has to say about enforcing a no-fly zone.
The Senator Marco Rubio from Florida, the Vice Chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee. Senator Rubio, thanks for joining us this morning. You were on that Zoom yesterday with President Zelensky. Are you and your colleagues now more open to a no-fly zone?
Look,
a no-fly zone has become a catchphrase. I'm not sure a lot of people fully understand what that means. That means...
Dog, the reason why it's a fucking catchphrase is because of you and other pieces of shit like you.
22 months.
You deliberately misrepresented and lied to the American people for many years whenever you wanted to do a no-fly zone anywhere else. But now you want to do a no-fly zone to a fucking nation with a nuclear arsenal, and you can't do that anymore. So you're like, oh, who did this? We're all looking for the guy who did this. You're in the fucking hot dog suit. Okay? You crashed your hot dog car into the fucking storefront, and now you're going, oh, who did this? How did this happen? Why do Americans think that the fucking a no-fly zone means like a weird protective barrier or a suggestion, like and not all-out war? Oh, you did this. You did this to justify this policy in other countries that you were able to do this to. Okay?
Means flying AWACS 24 hours a day.
Ooh, someone should probably spank me on or spank whoever did this on their bare butt. We should go conduct an investigation, but like let them get away with it in the aftermath.
Means the willingness to shoot down and engage Russian airplanes in the sky. That means, frankly, you can't put those planes up there unless you're willing to knock out the anti-aircraft systems that the Russians have deployed, and not just in Ukraine, but in Russia and also in Belarus. So basically, a no-fly zone, if people understood what it means World War III. It means starting World War III. So I think there are a lot of things we can do to help Ukraine protect itself, both from airstrikes and missile strikes. But I think that people need to understand what a no-fly zone means. It's not some rule you pass that everybody has to oblige by. It's the willingness to shoot down the aircrafts of the Russian Federation, which is basically the beginning of World War III.
How about this provision of fighter jets? We would provide the fighter jets to Poland, other Eastern European nations. They would send the jets they now have to Ukraine. Do you support that?
I do. If that can be done, that would be great. I do have concerns about a couple things, and that is sort of, can they actually fly them, given the amount of anti-aircraft capabilities that the Russians possess and continue to have deployed in the region. By the way, yesterday was a terrible day for the Russian Air Force. They're losing. They don't have air control either there. But generally speaking, it's something I'd be supportive of, and we should do what we can to help them.
The president has resisted banning Russian oil imports. Of course, that would send gas prices soaring even more here in this country. Do you support it?
I do, and I don't think, I think that's something that you can construct a plan to phase that in pretty rapidly, and you could use reserves for the purposes of buffering that. But we have more than enough ability in this country to produce enough oil to make up for the percentage that we buy from Russia. And by the way, this notion that somehow banning Russian oil would raise prices on American consumers is an admission that this guy, that this killer, that this butcher, Vladimir Putin, has leverage over us. Why would we want that leverage to continue? Why would we have someone like him to have the power to raise gas prices on Americans, which is basically, if he cuts us off, what would happen in the reverse? So I think we have enough of it. We should produce more American oil and buy less Russian oil, or none at all.
Yeah, dude, how are we going to do that? It's like fucking Nuke Andes being like, oh, nuclear energy is the way. Okay, it takes like, what, 10 years to fucking build a nuclear plant? How are we going to do that? How are we going to do that right now? Even if you're not, let's say for a moment that you genuinely are thinking about America's national security, okay, and you're not actually just being like a fucking piece of shit for your corporate benefactors, okay? How are you gonna do that, dude? How are you gonna do that right now in the interim period? Oh, so unlike the nuclear boys, what he's saying is faster and more likely to occur. Even though, from what I understand, fracking is not even as efficient as obviously other methods. And therefore, I don't know if it's even true or not. I don't know. I don't know if you can truly stabilize prices by increasing fracking. That is, of course, before you recognize some of the negative consequences of fracking. Okay.
You're facing some criticism from fellow legislators for tweeting out a picture of President Zelensky during his Zoom with Congress yesterday. The ambassador asked members not to do that because it would endanger Zelensky. Why did you ignore that request?
First of all, she said that well into the call. Second, there's no security risk in that at all. Perhaps she was under the impression that the Zoom call was a secret. It had been broadly reported, like multiple outlets, maybe even ABC had tweeted it was at 9:30. There were over 300 people on this call. The details of the call were emailed to a bunch of people.
Not allowing for no-fly zones, but giving other countries just to prevent World War III. Same, Sam, no. It depends on what Russia considers to be an act of fucking war. I think leading up to this moment, you can't really stop a country from receiving weapons, right? Like, unless you're literally the country's leader, okay? But even then, it's hard. You know what I mean? You can sneak those fucking little AR-15s in bread baskets, baby. You know what I mean? USAID style. So even then, it's hard. Even if you're like trying to prevent a fucking military coup from occurring, a violent military coup from occurring in your country, it's still hard to stop America from giving you guns, giving your citizens guns. So you're fucking not gonna be able to do that to a foreign nation, regardless. But you can't put the F-16s in the bread baskets, okay? You can put javelin missiles inside of food, supposedly food supply. Oh my God, my brother is killing me. You guys probably can't hear it, but in the background, it's like, what? He literally opens all the fucking doors in the house. He opens all the doors in the house and then starts drilling and you know, using power tools. And it's like, why are all the doors open? At least close them so I don't have to fucking hear it. He's like, nah, brother, you have to hear it.
And it was a nondescript picture, unlike any of the other ones, just like the other ones you've seen on the air. So there's no security risk there.
You don't believe you put him at risk?
No.
I want to also bring...
It's such a stupid fucking... Oh, God.
Bring up something that one of your fellow Republican senators, Lindsey Graham, has repeated again yesterday. Earlier in the week, he called for Russians to assassinate Vladimir Putin. Was that responsible?
Well, look, people are watching what's happening in Ukraine and what this man is doing to these people, what this monster's doing to human beings, and they're very angry about it. And obviously, you know, at the end of the day, I do think Vladimir Putin's going to face some problems internally in Russia. How the Russians seek to take care of it is up to them. I'm not sure he was calling for a U.S. action in that regard. I think what he was basically trying to say, at least my reading of it, is I wish someone would take this guy out and remove him from power one way or the other. I think the whole world wishes that. But that's not something we can impose. That's something that has to happen organically and has to happen internally. And maybe it will, because he's not just facing a military catastrophe in Ukraine where he really can't win. I mean, the two outcomes he has before him are a costly military victory followed by a costly long-term occupation or a quagmire. But he's also facing a second front at home where his economy is headed to third world status here pretty rapidly.
So far, he appears completely undeterred by that. Do you believe he's acting in a rational manner?
I think he's acting in a manner he believes is rational, because you have to understand this is a guy who views himself as a historic figure. He believes his legacy is going to be secured by being the person that restored great Russia. You can't be a greater Russia without Ukraine under your thumb. And that's what he's pursuing now. I also believe that he's a person that cannot survive, for example, being humiliated, and he can't survive in power if it looks like he backed down to NATO. So I think that creates a real opportunity here for danger. I don't think his perceptions are the same as our perceptions about the world, about the way things are going and so forth. This guy's also an authoritarian leader. He doesn't get a lot of bad news. They don't report a lot of bad news to him because it doesn't get you promoted. So I unfortunately think we're entering probably the most dangerous part of this conflict because as he begins to realize he can't make the...
He's not wrong, but there are, of course, as always, as is the case of Marco Rubio, he's also not completely correct as well. Once again, ultimately, it does not matter. If Vladimir Putin wants to restore the Russian Empire, there are limitations as to what we in the Western world can do, right? But here's one thing we can do, okay? Even if his ultimate goal is to overtake Ukraine in its entirety, there is no reason not to try to do democracy and diplomacy leading up to this, okay? All you will lose in that circumstance is a little bit of fucking time. All you will lose in that situation is 1 day of negotiations or a week worth of negotiations, okay? I keep saying this all the time. Like, even if it is, you're missing the fact that no Ukrainian wants that, which means long-term occupation with the population fighting for freedom. I get that. I understand that. First of all, the unfortunate reality is it doesn't matter what the Ukrainian people want, because the Ukrainian people also want a no-fly zone. Why is that not happening? Well, because the rest of the world is not going to risk nuclear holocaust. And that is technically a good reason, for the record. I'm sorry. Okay? Ukrainians want to join NATO, and yet they weren't able to. Why? Because, again, nuclear holocaust. Ukraine is Russia's red line alongside Georgia. And either country being added on to NATO would mean would have happened. What is happening right now would have happened if either country was slated to be added into NATO. Okay? Which is precisely the reason why, with the exception of the United States of America, other European leaders within NATO have always said, we don't want Ukraine to be a part of NATO. So ultimately, it doesn't matter what Ukrainians want, okay? It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. So now, having said all of that, there is one person, I feel bad for any Ukrainian viewer listening to this, but it's the reality. It is the dark and harsh reality, okay? What I'm describing is not something that I consider to be good or bad, okay? I want to help Ukrainian people, okay? I get it. I understand. Fighting against an imperial superpower at your doorstep that you have historical associations with is devastating, okay? It's not great. You have fucking families dying. That's not a good thing, okay? Do you realize what Putin's terms are? Of course I do. And I'm even saying that maybe Putin doesn't even care about the terms. Right now, Putin is shelling the fuck out of Ukrainian cities, okay? Mariupol being one of them. I have a friend whose grandmother is literally in Mariupol. She cannot contact her. His aunts and her grandmother living in Mariupol right now, and she cannot contact her at all. They have no idea what's going on there, okay? That's devastating. That fucking sucks. Putin. That's terrifying. That's horrific. And Vladimir Putin is almost single-handedly responsible for this, okay? In a weird way, unlike any other country, Vladimir Putin is almost single-handedly responsible for the death and destruction, okay, that is falling upon the Ukrainian people. I want to establish that. I want to make that clear. On the other hand, however, that shelling is going to continue regardless, right? That shelling is going to continue until they overtake the city. So, there is one thing. There are two things that you could do. Just let it keep happening and give more guns and not anything else, okay? And it's at a certain point, it's not going to, more guns are not going to help, okay? Or come to the table with the United States of America willing to make concessions to Russia. Concessions that Ukrainians might not enjoy, concessions that Ukrainians might not
15
want.
Months, let's go.
But concessions that need to be made in order for a ceasefire or negotiations to happen. Now, even if Putin makes these demands, and some of them are met, like the recognition of LPR and DPR as autonomous regions that are still within Ukrainian borders, because that was the Minsk agreement, and that is, from what I understand, still the attitude and the opinion that he has towards moving towards a ceasefire. Recognizing the recognition of Crimea as Russian territory, okay? The denazification of Ukraine and the demilitarization of Ukraine. Now, the last two are bullshit. White savior Andy take. First of all, the Ukrainian people are whiter than I am, okay, in the eyes of European leadership. So I don't know how the fuck, I'm white, but like, pretty funny take from you, okay?
9 months
But also,
sub to my himbo.
What I'm trying to describe is this. If Vladimir Putin's goals are to reinstitute the Russian Empire, and he's not going to stop with Crimea, okay, and that he actually wants to take the entirety of Ukraine, then nothing changed before that diplomatic conversation. Yesterday and tomorrow will be the same. There is no reason not to try. That's what I mean. People, on the other hand, keep fucking saying, oh no, we'll just keep sending thoughts and prayers to Ukraine. Fuck diplomacy. You can't do that. You can't negotiate with terrorists. Okay? You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't negotiate with terrorists. Like, okay, well then, yesterday and tomorrow will remain the same regardless. Okay?
19 months.
So
and
make
Arjan
concessions
still
and start
ain't
fighting
checking
from a
back.
worse position? There is no worse position to fight. What the fuck do you mean? In the aftermath of those concessions, what? What will change if those concessions are made? Additional time for Russian troops to resupply and regroup, right? That's what they said about the ceasefires as well. Oh, this is an opportunity for Russia to regroup and resupply. Okay, same for Ukraine. It's an opportunity for Ukraine to regroup and resupply as well. The Ukrainian forces, I mean. If the leveling of Ukrainian cities is an inevitability because Vladimir Putin is a psychopathic, warlord, then it's clear to me, if you listen to at least enough American and European leaders, that we are not going to change our attitude about sending troops into Ukraine. That's not going to change. The reason why it's not going to change is because sending troops into Ukraine means fighting for the first time in a very long time, state-on-state warfare between nuclear superpowers, which is very different than World War II, because we are living in a post-nuclearized world. Okay? So, what about the jets? Any thoughts on them? Russia considers resupplying Ukrainian fighter jets to be an act of war beyond even sanctions. So much so that Poland has routinely denied the reports that say Poland was going to send jets into Ukraine.
17 months, Pogu.
Okay. I feel like I repeat this every single day, and yet either there are new chatters that come in and ask that question, or there are old chatters that refuse to recognize what this means. And they just don't, they love hearing the same argument a million times.
Tactical gains on the ground that he wants to make. I think he's willing to escalate and do things that, unfortunately, would be pretty cataclysmic.
It feels like a real dilemma. You say that Putin can't win this war, but he also...
Oh, so fake news. Glad I asked. Watching. What? Can't tell if you mean like fake news as in I'm disseminating fake news, or I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of like new chatters who keep saying like I'm disseminating misinformation. I wonder if it's because there's a new Twitch policy that they think they can abuse to try to get me banned off this platform.
Seems pretty determined not to lose. So what can we do?
Well, that's one of the great challenges of these moments. I think there are, if you look throughout history, there are times when you reach points like this.
Or maybe not.
Where there doesn't seem to be an easy way out. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I wake up tomorrow and read that there's been this great negotiation and peace is here and there's people are going to be able to get humanitarian aid and the shelling is going to stop. But that's what my heart hopes for. But my mind, what I know about this man and know about Russia and know about its intentions and know about history tells me we got some ways to go yet until we reach a point like that. And it may not, and it's not going to be a pretty, journey.
I just feel it should be Ukraine at the negotiating table deciding its fate, not its so-called NATO allies. Dude, come on, man. Be realistic, please. Like, yeah, that sounds wonderful and beautiful, and you know, that would be great, but there is nothing. Like, that's not a real concept, okay? Nothing gets done in this world, on this fucking planet, that small nations don't make choices for themselves or their own citizens without the go-ahead or clear guidance or allowance by some superpower. It could be a sovereign, regional superpower.
2 months.
Like Russia, or it could be the global hegemonic power, the United States of America. Okay? Or the competing superpower that is competing with the United States on becoming a global hegemonic superpower, China. That is how this works. It's the sad but true reality. There is no, I don't know how else to describe it. There's no decision that the Ukrainian leadership can make for itself. Ukrainian service member helped evacuate civilians near Irpin. 3 civilians were killed and Russian mortar rounds landed, striking a route used by civilians to fleeing southwest towards Kyiv. I mean, computer enhanced. Yeah, I mean, this is going to keep happening, by the way. Of course it's going to keep happening. I don't even understand how the fuck these dudes can't just, like, not have Nazi shit on. Like, they don't even care. They literally just don't give a shit. They're like, nah, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm going to keep showing it. Like, how do you literally not, like, it can't be that hard. It's not like you have a fucking swastika tattoo on your forehead. Like, how? Do you equate nationalism to Nazism? Dog, that's a fucking black sun, okay? Like, yes, nationalism in a lot of instances I do equate to neo-Nazism because they are neo-Nazis. But, like, that is a black sun. That is literally the fucking swastika, okay? That's like one step below a swastika, dog. What the fuck do you mean? It's got to be super easy not to have that patch on, you know? Oh my lord. I think most people don't know about the Black Sun. I mean, I've talked about it every day since this conflict started. Dude, this is gonna be so fucked. I mean, no matter what the fuck happens, like, Ukraine is so fucked. So incredibly fucked. This has presented a dangerous situation where these motherfuckers don't need to feel ashamed of publicizing that viewpoint. If somebody was saving my life, I wouldn't stop to comment on their armband. How can you know the picture is real? I don't know. I've been covering the Azov Battalion and also, nationalism in Ukraine for a while. And this is a Getty Images photo. That Getty Images posted. Do you think Getty Images News is doing fake news? Do you think they're trying to act like a photo that they took of a Ukrainian soldier is a Nazi for no reason? Russia's one talking point is denazification of Ukraine, and these motherfuckers can't help themselves from having the black sun patch. I just don't get it. Like, the real problem is Zelensky can't control troops. I have several videos about this. Yeah, I know, and that is an issue.
Chatters are gonna start saying
That's
shit
part
like,
of the
wow,
also.
Hasan thinks celebrating the 4th of July is Nazism.
Part of the problem also is, can you check if that is not the Kolovrat sign? Wait, what? Dog, that is the black sun.
1 year white people happy.
Are you serious? Are you fucking serious, dude? You're saying it's the Slavic sun, actually? That's the Slavic rune for the sun? Is that what you're trying to say now? Why are you doing Nazi apologia? Are you a fucking Nazi? What the fuck is wrong with you? Does that look like the fucking... Jesus Christ, dude. That's incredible. I had not known about the Kolovrat and its modern application. A sun-shaped swastika with 8 arms. Neo-Nazis and neo-pagans claim the symbol has ancient Slavic origins, but there's no evidence to support this claim.
Hassle.
It likely appeared in the 1920s, has been actively used since the 1990s. The symbol's arms can point left or right. Uses. Slavic neo-pagans, such as Rodnovers, often use the Kolovrat to symbolize the sun without any far-right connotations. However, some Slavic neo-pagan cults do in fact hold racist ideology. As a hate symbol, far-right groups in a number of Slavic countries, mainly in Russia and Ukraine, use the Kolovrat in place of a swastika. It was also included in the emblem of the Russian right-wing radical movement, Russian National Unity. The far-right groups, it is a symbol of Slavic heritage used to draw contrast to non-Slavs. In Ukraine, it is widely used as an indicator of far-right views, often without any stated affiliation with a specific organization or structure. It is often used in graffiti and as a tattoo. That is not even the Kolovrat, though. What we just saw is just straight up the black sun. That is the black sun. That is even more of an open Nazi symbol than this one. It's not even like layers of dog whistles. We are talking straight up the black sun. The official position of Azov is that black sun is an old Slavic symbol, so it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Most Azov guys probably don't even know that it's a Nazi symbol. Dude, you're such a fucking piece of shit propagandist motherfucker. I hope you understand that. You are such a fucking scumbag to say shit like this, for the record. Like, who the fuck do you think, whose chat do you think you're in, you little fucking shit? What do you think? You think I'm going to be like, oh, I guess it's okay? Dog, the Azov Battalion literally admitted, maybe 10 to 25% of our entire forces are Nazi, openly Nazi. When someone is able to say that, when someone openly states something like that, they're fucking all Nazis, okay? Shut the fuck up, you little shit. Get the fuck out of here.
It's my 19-month of brain rot.
Like, dude, the black sun is just an old symbol. What about the Volts Angel? Is that also an old Slavic symbol? It's so strange that they just keep finding these symbols that, Nazis have used. They don't even hide it, and you're doing, like, defense for them. Ultimately, these people don't understand how fucked up it is to say the Pledge of Allegiance every day in elementary school is the same thing as wearing one of those emblems. Dude, you're fucking insane. Okay? No, it's not the same as saying the fucking Pledge of Allegiance, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? There's a level of nationalism and patriotism that is baked into the common curriculum of every public education and every system. Okay? Of course, national unity is socially conditioned behavior. What you are talking about is people that are choosing to go beyond that and revitalize old figures that have collaborated with Nazis, okay? Like Bandera. You are fucking insane. There's a difference between pledging allegiance, which I get it, like some level of patriotism can, it's on the fucking spectrum, okay? Certainly. But like, you're a psycho if you think that is similar to proselytizing and acting like Bandera was a heroic figure. Never ask a Ukrainian soldier what that weird patch means. The group's insignia features Wolf's Angel and the Black Sun, two neo-Nazi symbols. Azov soldiers have been observed wearing Nazi-associated symbols. Dude, they have Nazi tattoos, man. They have, like... Dude, that fucking mayor... That mayor that PBS interviewed has 1488 on his fucking truck. What do you think that is? Oh, it's another Slavic reason. It's... Like, well, why do you think that he had Bandera's photo right behind him? What do you think Bandera did? He had Bandera on his wall. 1488 on his fucking pickup truck. What the fuck are you talking about? These are like... They say they're Nazis. I don't know what you want to hear from me. Like, it's... I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, dude. They literally are like, we are Nazis. You know, some of us are Nazis. Me, I just like this swastika. It's very good. And you still have people in my chat being like, actually, are they though? Did they say they were Nazis? Okay, well, some of them. They said that some of them were Nazis. I have never fucking seen this level of like, brushing under the rug and defense for Nazis from otherwise supposedly anti-Nazi communities. Holy fuck. And of course, this doesn't justify what Vladimir Putin is doing or even give credence or legitimacy to like denazification in Ukraine, considering that his actions are probably creating more Nazis in Ukraine right now, which I'm sure will not turn into a big problem 10 years down the line. I'm sure it's totally perfectly fine to have Nazi paramilitaries gain this level of prominence and power. This chat keeps asking, you might as well explain it. Yes, 1488 is a combination of two popular white supremacist... Whoa, fuck. Is a combination of two popular white supremacist numeric symbols. The first symbol is 14, which is shorthand for the 14-word slogan. Hold on, sorry. I'm going to disconnect from my TV real quick. I think it just like turned off. I think it should be fine now. No. I have my TV connected. Anyway, the first symbol is 14, which is shorthand for the 14-word slogan. We must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. The second is 88, which stands for Heil Hitler, H being the 8th letter of the alphabet. Together, the numbers form a general endorsement of white supremacy and its beliefs. As such, they are ubiquitous within the white supremacist movement, as graffiti and graphics, tattoos, even screen names and email addresses. Some white supremacists will even price their racist merchandise, such as t-shirts or compact discs, for $14.88. Okay. Top running defense for Nazis, you fucking weirdos. It's disgusting. Is Fetty Wap a Nazi? Dude, what do you mean? He says 1738, not 1488. Anyway. If Nazis was using condoms, we can't use them. If Satanists use cross, it doesn't mean the cross is a bad sign. Are you mad? Bandera was fighting versus the Nazis and versus the USSR. Yeah, dude, Bandera was fighting against the Nazis so well by sucking them off as hard as he could. And allowing the rest of the Ukrainian nationalist movement to collaborate with the Nazis to fucking kill 1 million Jews within Ukraine. You fucking dog. You fucking dog shit. Subhuman fuck. Get the fuck out of here, dude. You know what you deserve. I won't say it, but you know what you deserve, okay? And one day, inshallah, one day you will get it, okay? Hopefully soon, swiftly, the fast way. of shit. Feels weird, man. Too far. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Dumbass. Feels weird, man. I can't believe you're telling a fucking Nazi sympathizer that, like, you know, that he deserves things that we all know. You know, Nuremberg style. Legally speaking, of course. Anyway. Polish government denies plans. We talked about Venezuelan sanctions. I don't really care. I mean, here, I'll fucking show the Russian propaganda pack. Okay,
damage, frankly, Stuart. Much less damage than we inflicted on Iraq when we went into it, either in '91 and again in 2003. Now, I think they're just surrounding the Ukrainian forces, and they are annihilating them. And this is inevitable. And Mr. Zelensky, I think, is postponing the inevitable in the hopes that we are going to rescue him, and we are not coming. President Biden has made that very clear.
You think the end is in sight?
Well, the end of this phase is still a few days away.
Trying to take Putin's fucking boot out of his throat, dude.
But
what is going on? What the fuck? I've never seen that before.
The end of this phase is still a few days away. But
like, listen, the plutonium is working through my veins. I need to get this out quick. Otherwise, I won't be able to get the antidote.
The first 5 days, Russian forces, I think, frankly, were too gentle. They've now corrected that. So I would say another 10 days, this should be completely over. But the question is, what is it that Zelensky is going to do? The Russians have made it very clear what they want is a neutral Ukraine. This could have ended days ago if he accepted that. And then they can adjust the borders. But the eastern part of Ukraine is firmly in Russian hands. But again, the Russians are not seizing territory. They're destroying Ukrainian forces. That's their focus.
Colonel, it sounds like you don't approve of Zelensky's stand.
Oh, I think Zelensky is a puppet. And he is putting huge numbers of his own population at unnecessary risk. And quite frankly, most of what comes out of Ukraine is debunked as lies within 24 to 48 hours. The notions of taking and retaking airfields, all of this is nonsense. It hasn't happened.
He's not a hero? When he's standing up for himself and his own people? You don't think he's a hero?
Oh, fuck.
No, I do not. I don't see anything heroic about the man. And I think the most heroic thing that he can do right now is to come to terms with reality. Neutralize Ukraine. This is not a bad thing. A neutral Ukraine would be good for us as well as for Russia. It would create the buffer that, frankly, both sides want.
Okay, to be fair, I do agree with the neutralize Ukraine take, but I don't know what the fuck else he's talking about. Like, air bases are not being taken over. Like, Zelensky's a bad guy for fucking, wanting to defend Ukraine. Like, even if you had a realpolitik approach to, even if you had a realist approach to what Zelensky is doing right now, and of course, American influence and American involvement is key here. Obviously, that's like part of the reason why he believes he can. Part of this is why Zelensky believes he can continue to put a strong front against Russia because of American involvement. But like the other incredibly important force at play here is the top of the hour ad break, where at the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, like Zelensky knows, you can subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. If you don't have $5, the Twitch Prime is free, you know? I fucking got you, dude. Listen, it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to admit it. Just like it's okay to admit that if you get gifted a sub, you can avoid those ads as well. But sometimes you're not as lucky, so you got to make your own luck. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Okay, so what I was saying is Zelensky. There's two different factors at play. Obviously, America's involvement, which gives him confidence to be able to push back. The fact that the Ukrainian forces have been doing a decent enough job so far in pushing back. but also internal stress, internal pressures. Zelensky is now in charge of a country that is actively under threat by Russia, right? That also has heated its nationalistic temperament as a consequence of pushing back against an imperialist a country that threatens is nation state and sovereignty, its statehood and sovereignty. So now you have a fuckload of right-wing, reactionary, nationalist paramilitaries with literal fucking NATO weapons running around. If you even turn around and make concessions to Russia, holy fuck. If you turn around and make concessions to Russia, what's going to happen? That's a very real fear. That was part of the reason why, at least the defense ministry at the time leading up to the Russian invasion, said we cannot reinstitute Minsk because we have enough people, one, to fight back against Russia, 2 million reservists, if we want, that we can activate, which, of course, did not get activated. And two, we have a lot of people that would be very upset at us if we were to follow through on Minsk. Okay? So,
but he's, I think, being told to hang
and
on
I hate it.
and try to drag this out, which is tragic for the people that have to live through this.
I'm inclined to disagree with you, Colonel, but, you know, we'll see how this works out.
You will get fucking coup d'etat so hard by, you know, America-backed Nazis. It's not even funny. Like, you'll get fucking... If you think what Putin did is brutal... wait till you see what our allies do to other leaders that don't, that don't follow through on the desires of Western imperialist nations. Come on, dude. Plenty such examples if you would like to see. You can literally find it on Live League if you want.
Takes out wallet.
Prime Minister of Ukraine in 2015 said that the residents of the Southeast are subhumans. Neutralizing Ukraine would literally deny sovereignty of Ukrainians and the opportunity to decide their own future. Dude, Ukrainians do not... that's not real, okay? Please, get this out of your fucking mind. This is a sad but important reality check for people to recognize, okay? That's not a real thing. There is no Ukrainian sovereignty without fucking javelins anyway, okay? So chill out, all right? There is no Ukrainian sovereignty without NATO nations selling Bayraktar, like Turkey. Or there's no Ukrainian sovereignty or even a pathway towards Ukrainian sovereignty without javelin missiles, man pads, okay? Without anti-tank missiles, without AR-15s. There is no Ukrainian sovereignty without training and material support. So without the Western world, and without the Western world using Ukraine as a fucking opportunity to cripple and threaten and destroy Russia, there is no Ukrainian sovereignty. Okay. Holy shit. People keep saying like, oh, what about the sovereignty of Ukrainians? Okay, where is the Ukrainian interest right now? Why are there no fucking American fighter jets enforcing a no-fly zone over Ukrainian airspace? Where is the Ukrainian sovereignty and Ukrainian interest with NATO? Why didn't Americans, allow Ukraine to join NATO? Huh? Stop. Please. If you're a small country, if you're a small nation state, stuck at the fucking asshole of a gigantic country that's threatening your existence, you have no sovereignty. The only semblance of sovereignty that you can ever have, the only crumb of autonomy that you can ever feel is by playing
Hey,
each
chat.
of these nations against one another and their competing interests against one another. Russians against the West and West against Russia. Okay? And if you overplay your hand, you will get fucked. You get it? Unless you have nukes, which is why, you know, HasanAbi doctrine. Get nukes. Never give up the nukes. And if America says you have nukes, when you don't have nukes, drop everything and make nukes. Okay? Ukraine, unfortunately, violated the second rule of the HasanAbi doctrine. Ukraine gave up the nukes. It wasn't their nukes. It was Moscow's nukes. They didn't have the launch codes, but who cares? Fuck it. YOLO. Figure out how to crack those nukes, baby. But you didn't. And you fucked up. That's why these things that are happening right now are happening. Part of it. The sad, unfortunate reality.
11 months, bro. Thanks for the leftist brain rot. I'm an old graybeard now.
I'm not being quiet. I'm just talking about U.S. energy production and shit. Anthony Blinken, the U.S. is giving the green light for NATO countries if they choose to provide fighter jets to Ukraine. Isn't that funny? People be like, what about Ukrainian sovereignty? What about Ukrainian sovereignty? And then it's like Anthony Blinken has to fucking allow NATO countries to even potentially give fighter jets to Ukraine.
Vladimir Putin
Where is the Ukrainian sovereignty in that situation?
has said that sanctions amount to a declaration of war. They are impacting his economy, but they're not stopping his military. When will sanctions stop the fight?
Margaret, the impact of the sanctions is already devastating, which is presumably why he said what he said. But at the same time, we continue to see President Putin doubling down and digging in on this aggression against Ukraine. That's continuing. And I think we have to be prepared, unfortunately, tragically, for this to go on for some time.
NATO has said none of its 30 members are willing to set up a no-fly zone. President Biden has been very clear he has no interest in that or combat troops. But what more can the United States do here? If, for instance, the Polish government, a NATO member, wants to send fighter jets, does that get a green light from the U.S., or are you afraid that that will escalate tension?
No, that gets a green light. In fact, we're talking with our Polish friends right now about what we might be able to do to backfill their needs if, in fact, they choose to provide these fighter jets to the Ukrainians. What could we do? How can we help to make sure that they get something to backfill the planes that they're handing over to the Ukrainians? We're in very active discussions with them about that. Look, I've been in Europe for the last couple of days working closely, as always, with our allies and partners at NATO, the European Union, the G7 countries, and all of us together are continuing to take steps to increase the pressure on Russia through additional sanctions, all of which are very actively under discussion and will be implemented in the coming days, as well as taking further steps to give the Ukrainians what they need to defend themselves against the Russian aggression.
Despite the HasanAbi doctrine, you're pro-nuclear disarmament? Of course, dude. Oh, this is wonderful. This is awesome. Trump mused the donors. Oh, God, I love him. I love his brilliant mind. What a fucking tactician, dude. What an incredible, incredible strategist. What a brilliant man. Gone too soon. He's not dead. He's just no longer able to tweet.
Why don't you play
Trump
GTA
mused the donors that
anymore?
we should take our F-22 planes, put the Chinese flag on them, and bomb the shit out of Russia. And then say, China did it. We didn't do it. China did it. And then they start fighting with each other, and we sit back and watch. God, we need him back immediately. He needs to be the president again. I'm sorry. He's just fucking brilliant. Absolute brilliance, dude. Just demonstrating every day what we are missing. True leadership. What a fucking idiot, dude. Can you imagine? How do you... How the fuck do you think that that's a good idea? Like, does he not think that these things don't fall? Like, does he think that they just won't know what an F-22 looks like on camera? In, like, one of the most documented wars of all time, if not the most documented war of all time? They'll never know. Like, it's like, it's like cartoon brain, dude. He's like, what we must do, believe me. All right, listen. What we must do is go to the mountainside, all right, believe me, and then draw a black tunnel on the side of a mountain. And then we must direct the Putin convoys into the mountain. And then they will drive, thinking that it's a tunnel, directly into Kyiv. But except it's not a tunnel, it's just the side of a mountain. This is how we'll stop the forces. This was how we'll stop it. Believe me, I need to be president again. I'm still the president. It's awesome. We must drop comical pianos on top of Vladimir Putin. Comically sized pianos. Very dangerous, folks. Many such cases. Pianos are falling and killing people all around the world.
Про ракетний удар по Вінниці. 8 ракет.
Zelensky says 8 missile struck peaceful Vinnytsia, which has never threatened Russia in any way. It's brutally cynical. The airport is completely destroyed. Russia continues to destroy infrastructure, our lives, which were built by generations of Ukrainians. Incredible stuff. All right. Here's the Fox News Ukraine cold open. Said Charlie Xbox. All right, let's take a look at June Cancun takes SoHo.
Yo, I'm comfortable in the trenches. Dior Cozy had the trench coat.
Oh, wait, isn't this the fucking dude from Uncut Jams?
Mary had a little lamb. Tell her hoe I've been to go. Yo, shout out to Matcha and White Claw. All the white bitches that drink Matcha and White Claw. Stop fucking playing with us, man.
You know, motherfuckers, I had this belt before anybody had this belt. Wrong heart.
Yo, I'm from the fucking Bronx. Putin, keep that shit in Russia before we start K-flocking at your ass, you heard? You love the white bitches?
Oh, snow bunnies all day.
Tell them, man, all the white bitches know me from San Francisco to SoHo, man. Tell them the truth.
I know him. I know the truth. He's the real deal.
My balls are frozen, motherfuckers. My balls are frozen.
Exotic strands of the Zaza. He my man, he my Gaza. Bustin' hand in hand with some hand sanitizer. This that New York City trip. Atlantic diver. All I do is spit spice, volcanic lava. You pussy, you snitching. How you gangsters do vouch? Bag got my body, different kangaroo pouch. Stand up, nigga, AK for a slouch. Bag got my body, different kangaroo pouch.
Are they just like profiling rap now? What's happening? I mean, that's just straight up a...
He's the real deal.
That was just straight up just a song. I mean, it was good, but... I feel like there's a difference. What do Russians think now, 1 week after the start? What is this?
Что в целом думаете о войне? Война — это очень плохо. Я лично знаю некоторых людей с Украины. Меня эта тема очень печалит. Я хочу, чтобы поскорее это все закончилось.
Извините, я аполитичен. Это меня посадят.
Любая война — это ужасно.
Damn, I thought he was about to be like, I'm apolitical. I will hold on to the most right-wing position possible. It's usually what I'm used to from Americans. And people in the West, but he was like, I'll go to jail.
Мне мама все время говорила, лишь бы не было войны. Все что угодно, голод, холод, лишь бы не было войны. И это очень страшно, что это пришло. У меня и сын, и внук, и еще один внук, и все мальчики.
Я, к сожалению, не могу это комментировать, потому что это сейчас опасно. Даже называть вещи своими именами опасно можно как-то... Могут это как-то интерпретировать. неправильно с моей стороны, и я могу попасть под даже уголовную ответственность.
Yes, we were editing this video right now, and it turned out that the term war is going to be like not allowed to use in Russia, because they say that the war is fake. It's not war. It's a special operation. So
Still love you and
it's not war. It's special operation in this video. Just so you know.
Я против того, что погибали люди, но считаю, что тут она была необходима.
Полный пиздец. Я знала, что Путин шизик, и такого же мнения остаюсь.
I don't get it. Like, why do some people say, "Oh, I'll fucking go to jail for this," and then there's like, you know, the Russian version of Nico Low, who's out here just straight up being like, "Yeah, Putin's a schizo." Bravest e-girl, 100%. Yes, my take was 100% correct, by the way, when I said the Russian Nico Low.
И такого же мнения остаюсь.
Война — это очень плохо.
Бесполезно абсолютно, ничего это не принесет. И в 21 веке развязывать войну абсолютно негуманно даже.
Против, конечно. У них там родственники живут. Я думаю, любой здравомыслящий человек будет против.
Ну, вполне, естественно, это будет негативное отношение, потому что все мы понимаем, что гибнут люди, и жизни они не восстанавливаются. У нас у всех на Украине проживают родственники. Эта ситуация касается буквально каждого из нас. Мы за скорый мир, за скорое окончание этой военной миссии, как они ее называют.
Скорее, как к чему-то стихийному, что не избежать.
Ну, война — это в любом случае плохо. Не знаю, пока что, наверное, стоит довериться правительству. Потом посмотрим, что как будет.
Вопросик.
Мы желаем скорейшей победы нашим войскам, чтобы как можно быстрее наши благородные солдаты одержали безоговорочную победу. Думаю, чем дальше на запад, тем лучше. То есть мы там не остановимся, там дальше Польша, вот это вот Германия, вот это все. И в конце концов Париж. Париж зайдет, да.
This dude is 1000% trolling. This is like exactly what fucking Turkish people say all the time as well. Like reis. There's a fucking meme in Turkey. I do it too sometimes when in Turkish, when I'm speaking in Turkish, where it's like reis da alay edilmez, where you like go over the top, you go overboard with your defense of Putin or whoever your fucking leader is, to, you know, show how fucking ridiculous it is. The reason why I'm describing it to Americans is because you're probably predisposed to assume that like there are people who legitimately feel this way in Russia, and I'm sure there are, but what he's doing here is like absolutely fucking that type of trolling.
Можем повторить.
Люди всегда воевали, и пусть они сами разбираются между собой, но лучше пусть меня, как простого человека, не втягивают, потому что мне эти последствия, которые, возможно, я на себе буду ощущать потом, они не нужны.
Я считаю так, что в 21 веке нужно существовать и жить мирно.
Плохо, не нужно никому.
К войне непонятно, зачем она нужна, потому что их столько было, люди многое теряли, и зачем это делают снова, тоже непонятно.
Ну а санкции на вас вообще как-нибудь отразились?
Я не могу сказать, что прямо. У меня нет организации, которая попала под прямые санкции. Но я думаю, что все мы, я в том числе как потребители, мы будем ощущать на себе.
Отразились ли на вас как-нибудь санкции?
Отразились. Плачу. Очень жалко наших ребят.
Да, у меня мама работает в магазине в оптике. И там цены на все очки поднялись на 30%. Естественно, у них зарплата упадет клиентов, так как клиентов будет намного меньше.
Коснулись ли вас как-нибудь санкции в связи с ситуацией? Все коснулись, херово жить становится, все дорого. Я хотел телефон себе купить новый, а больше не куплю себе телефон новый, потому что нет денег.
Цены выросли. Даже на квас. На 10 рублей. 10 рублей квас подорожал.
Ну, только карта заблокирована.
Санкции коснулись только с учетом поднятия цен.
Я бедный студент, мне никак не отразили санкции.
Особо никак, но только по поводу шмоток, одежды, то, что там какие-то, ну, то, что не идет в Россию доставка, вот это грустненько.
Но только с точки
Bro, he found like every different type of e-girl with like the e-girl political compass meme, dude. You got the anti-imperialist e-girl. You got the socialist e-girl. And then you have the pro-Putin e-girl. Like, he just went and found every one.
С точки зрения валютных каких-то ситуаций с валютой очень переживаю я, например, за своего состояния.
Санкции лично меня и окружения нет, я думаю.
Ну как считаете, что нас в целом в будущем ждет?
Нас ждет светлое прекрасное будущее. Просто оно наступит в том случае, будет прекрасным в том случае, если мы будем каждый что-то делать, начинать с себя.
Как считаете, что нас в будущем ждет?
Ждет что-то хорошее, мы оптимисты все равно. Мы придем к этому. Ну, какие-то бестолковые, ведь на Западе, не понимают сути. Понимаете, как-то здесь недопонимание происходит.
Я боюсь об этом думать, очень тревожно.
Что нас ждет?
Все мы рано или поздно умрем.
Мы все умрем, как сказал Богданчик. Апокалипсис.
Апокалипсис. Тотальный апокалипсис и что-то вроде Fallout с супермутантами, с костюмами. В общем, очень хочу в Fallout поиграть в реальной жизни.
Думаю, мы станем страной третьего мира, у нас будет железный занавес, и мы откатимся назад.
Миграция стремительная, полагаю.
Два варианта. Типа безоговорочная победа, либо тотальное уничтожение всего живого. В любом случае русские попадут в рай, нам это было обещано. И в целом, немного пострадаем на земле, так сказать. Что когда на небе все уже зарезервировано.
Я думаю, что нам нужно уезжать все. Ничего хорошего нас не ждет.
Железный занавес вряд ли опустится. Но это не может не радовать в любом случае. Однако остальные последствия. Что мне сделать как простому гражданину с этим?
Первое, это, скорее всего, 60-50 наш дефолт. Второе, это, понятно, за дефолтом следует опустошение прилавков. Скорее всего, дальше будет только хуже.
Вообще ничего не загадываю.
Что-нибудь осознали новое за неделю, как война началась?
Я каждый день преисполняюсь, на самом деле. Но стараюсь абстрагироваться.
Наверное, я просто убедился в глупости людей, в плане того, что они очень сильно доверяют пропаганде.
Честно, может быть, небольшое разочарование в людях, которые это делают, особенно к верхам, которые ничем не жертвуют, а отправляют простых людей по факту жертвовать своими жизнями. Вот.
Наверное, появилась одна мысль, что переезжать мы пока никуда не собираемся, и придется чуть-чуть подтянуть пояса. Хорошее время сбежать, наверное, но не переехать.
That was 1420. What do Russians think now, 1 week after the start? I kind of want to see 3 days ago. Do Russians want the USSR back? Would you nuke the US? 100 Russians. What the fuck?
21 months sheesh.
Do Russians want Ukraine?
Хотела бы, чтобы Украина стала частью России.
Нет.
Почему?
Это для меня отдельная страна.
Частью России? Да нет, зачем?
Навряд ли. Не интересуюсь политикой.
Ну почему нет?
Россия так большая.
Между Россией и Украиной должен быть мир. Вот.
Но мне кажется, данный вопрос нужно оставить политикам, тем людям, которые этим занимаются.
Думаю, что да.
Почему?
Это один народ все-таки. Должны мы как-то быть вместе.
Да.
Ни в коем случае.
Почему?
Потому что это суверенная страна, она имеет свой суверенитет, и это отдельная страна. Почему она должна становиться частью России?
Это другая страна. Как можно забрать другую страну?
Bro, this is literally Russian Jack Harlow.
Нет, конечно.
Не знаю, Россия так большая.
Зачем?
Дополнительная территория, перемещаться
Нам территории мало.
Да, она изначально была частью России. Такой страны как бы и не было раньше.
Чей Крым?
Наш.
А Луганск, Донецк?
Но сейчас же это неопределенное, так скажем.
This is really interesting. She's like, Ukraine is ours, but Luhansk and Donetsk, I don't know. Like, okay, well, you should probably start with that area if you want it. You know what I mean? How are you questioning Luhansk and Donetsk, but Ukraine is yours? We're one nation.
Местоположение, но вообще всегда была уверена, что это Украина.
Чей, ну, тот, у кого сейчас находится.
Я лично считаю, что Крым наш.
Ну, если мы его забрали, то получается наш. Наверное, эти города принадлежат тем людям, которые там живут. Ваш.
Oh, she said Crimea was ours, not Ukraine. I thought she also very clearly stated that like Ukraine should be ours, though.
Луганск, Донецк.
Их.
Чей Крым?
Российский. Украинский.
Украина.
Свой собственный.
Наш.
Чей Крым?
Да-да.
Мира. Крым наш. Чей еще?
Not a single person has said the truth. That's really fucked up. It's fucked up, dude. Fucked up to the top of the hour is here, and they're not even mentioning it in this video. Telling you that you can avoid the top of the hour ad break by subscribing for $5, or if you don't have $5, for free with a Twitch Prime. Okay? Not a single person is mentioning that in the video, and I'm appalled, shocked, feeling disrespected, upset. Thank you, Lychee0123 for the 5 the subs, allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. But of course, the joke that I was going to, well, it's not a joke, it's very serious. The thing I was going to say is Crimea does not belong to Russia. Crimea does not belong to Ukraine. Crimea belongs to the Turks. The truth. True. Anyway, let's continue.
Крым относится, наверное, больше не к государству, а к тем людям, которые там живут.
Общий. Не знаю.
Вообще есть два варианта развития в будущем. Это либо Третья мировая война, либо единое мировое государство. Чей Луганск и Донецк?
Нет. Украина.
Свободный. Ну, на данный момент свободный. Украинский. Украинский.
В душе не чаю вообще.
Я думаю, вообще нам туда лучше не суваться. Зачем нам это надо? Мы только на себя по факту огонь направили, и сейчас вот вся эта ситуация только из-за глупости.
Это же отдельное государство.
Чей Луганск и Донецк?
Украина.
Ну а в целом, вкратце, что думаете про Украину?
Хорошая страна, я бывал там много раз. Люди хорошие очень. Все идет к хаосу, все идет к гражданской войне.
Ну, как народ, как люди, ну, вообще прекрасно.
В связи с последними событиями, как я понял, она, ну, не особо уважает Россию, ну, в принципе, я к ней отношусь нейтрально.
Хорошая страна, мы один народ, не должны.
What the fuck does that mean, bro? They don't respect Russia. Oh, okay.
Воевать ничего плохого не должно быть.
Мне Украина очень нравится, у меня много друзей с Украины. И вообще те проблемы, которые у них сейчас есть, тот конфликт, который назревает, он, опять же, очень сказывается на мирных жителях.
The Russian dudes are either underwear models or mutated werewolves. There's no in between. Bro. I mean, yeah, you're kind of right. Yeah, it's just, yeah. I was going to say you're wrong, but like you're mean and you shouldn't say that, but you're kind of right. And then, of course, once they reach the age of 34, it just all falls apart. Potbelly, impossibly red face from copious amounts of alcohol consumption, and just head enlarged like Alec Baldwin size.
Хотелось бы просто, чтобы мы с Украиной жили в мирных отношениях, потому что практически всегда так было.
Будь у них другой президент, возможно, да, нормально. А так много бреда несет?
Просто долбоебы в креслах сидят и управляют ей, блядь. Если туда поставить нормального президента, то все с ним будет нормально.
Обычное государство. Ничего плохого не
This is a turkey hyperbole. Listen, motherfucker, no one on the planet has ever been like, yo, Turks are hot. Turks don't even have the underwear model take, okay? Just take it. Take it and run with it. We talk about how all Americans are hot dogs, couch potatoes, fat. And then the moment I'm like, yeah, Russians are either hot or mutated werewolves, you're like, oh, that's fucked up. Yeah, okay, well, skoblyat to you, okay?
Как страна, она не очень интересная. Россия намного в технологиях, я считаю, что...
Oh, wow! Wow! That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, dog. What the fuck? That's wild, dude. Who could have fucking seen this coming? What? Dude, we are such pieces of shit. I fucking despise America so much. Okay? I despise America with all of my fucking soul in the way that we torment the peoples of this planet with not a single fucking ounce of dignity, not a single ounce of fucking moral responsibility, not a single fucking fraction of feeling bad about the actual death and fucking destruction that we cause upon the planet in the most shameless, bloodthirsty way possible. And then we lower the levers, okay? We dial it back like that. It's that simple. It was always that simple. It was always that simple.
Thanks.
Thousands of Venezuelans dead for nothing but pure American interest in fucking shutting them out of the global economy with the hopes that a fucking regime change would happen. And they failed, and they kept the sanctions up anyway, and now they're going to turn around and they're going to fucking potentially ease the oil sanctions. Disgusting. Absolutely fucking disgusting, dude. And the reason why I'm saying it's disgusting is because of this, okay? It means that these sanctions never had to happen to begin with. They starved the Venezuelan economy, just like they continue to starve Cuba, just like they continue to starve Iran, just like they continue to starve North Korea. And our attitude automatically is these are evil nations. We have to do what we have to do. These are evil nations.
One more month.
They're evil. We are the benevolent dictators of the world. These guys, they're evil. Afghanistan, we're starving. Yemen, we're starving. If there was any fucking karma, if there was any justice on this planet, these people that have enacted these sorts of policies for decades in perpetuity would feel a fraction of the violence that they have subjected others to so fucking openly and willingly and freely. But they won't. There is no justice on this planet. I don't know. I'm disgusted, dude. We're animals. We are led by actual fucking animals, dude. Hyenas, all of them. You can see the same people in the replies of this tweet. Commander Ivy, so PayPal stopped working in Russia today, and Twitch will no longer pay Russian streamers. Thank you very much for cutting my only source of income. I'm sure this will solve all of the world's problems. I mean, it's already doing what it's supposed to. Russia, Nizhemank's workers of the Hemont plant staged a spontaneous strike due to the fact that they were not paid part of their salary. Yeah, dude. Oh, it's sick, man. Boys. Set up a crypto wallet. Can you please DM me on Discord? Explain how to make it happen. All this is non-supporting Russian stuff is out of hand. It isn't hurting Putin. It's hurting Russian civilians. I mean, that's not bad. None of the replies are too bad. Sometimes we're held responsible for things that aren't our fault, like your kid scratching your neighbor's car, your politicians lending money, or waging a war in your name. The longer you let it slide, the harder the fall. Yeah, motherfucker, but you've never actually felt the consequences of whatever your fucking nation's actions are because you live in the imperial core. You are lucky to have a better spawn point than the rest of the fucking planet, dude. Disgusting. I despise these fucking animals, dude. You are a cackling hyena, okay? Understand that you are not better than these people, okay? You will never sacrifice anything. You will never have to feel the sacrifice that people make on a daily fucking basis. Pieces of shit.
"22 months holy."
Replies to this are infuriating. If average American Brits or French were ever held to these standards, there'd be a lot of people changing their tune. First of all, the average American, British, or French would unironically deserve it more than the average Russian person does. Like, if there was a standard for how much you support your government and its fucking violent actions means like you're gonna see the consequences in the form of sanctions, then literally like the average British person and the French person and American person should be held at a fucking military tribunal and executed summarily. Okay? Are you fucking kidding me? 94% support for George W. Bush.
2 months,
Americans were howling to fucking destroy the entirety of Middle East, turn it into rubble and dust. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Russian people have no say. American people have no say either. But that doesn't stop them from fucking, willingly and deliberately playing the part of a fucking mouthpiece for a government that is violent and genocidal. Remember, the past fucking week or so, everyone coming in here and being like, oh my God, Hasan, why are you saying America bad? Why are you saying America bad? Don't put this on America. It's not the time to criticize America, you fucking tanky. Yeah, dude. Ukrainians are fucking being murdered, brutally slaughtered by a larger imperial force on its fucking neighbor, on its borders, okay? And you are using this as an opportunity to cleanse your hands of the very blood that your government has spilt on a daily fucking basis and continues to do so. Disgusting. Shame on you. Russians don't deserve to be fucking brutalized this way. They already have to live in Russia, okay? God damn.
"8 months now I have terminal brain rot."
The Russian people are also casualties of this war. Oh no, their civilians are going to struggle for monies for a little bit while they're...
Pogu.
Oh no, while their government and sons and daughters bomb and murder Ukrainians. Not great, but at least they aren't Ukrainian. What the fuck do you mean, dude? What the fuck does... You can't match up random fucking civilians against random fucking civilians. That's so psychotic. Fucking weird, bloodthirsty monster, you. Why mean to hyenas? Tell us how you really feel. Crimea and Ukraine, like the rest of the world and HasanAbi, belong to Amazon and Jeff Bezos. Land and people aren't, in my opinion, possessions of anyone. What? This person is all over the fucking place, dude. Americans that panic attacks because there were only 20 varieties of Pop-Tarts on the shelves instead of 30 just a few months ago. They'd lose their goddamn mind. Dude, the same people that are...
I'm tired of seeing international proletariat homies suffer under the yoke of capitalism.
The same people that were literally fucking saying, like, I will not put a muzzle on, brother. Like, they couldn't even fucking put a mask over their ugly-ass face for 3.5 minutes are now like, one, telling Ukrainians how they can defend themselves by using fucking, you know, water bottles full of paint to like dismantle a tank, and 2, like actively pushing for more war on their behalf, a war they will not fight, a war they will never suffer the consequences of, a war they won't even fucking allow to get a fucking additional amount of, a war they won't even pay 30 extra cents for gas on, okay? Shut the fuck up, dude. Seriously. But is the economic well-being of Russians above the literal lives and sovereignty of Ukrainians?
Yeah. America is the great.
That kind of thinking is so fucking dangerous, because go kill Russian people then randomly on the street. It's not going to do anything, but maybe it'll make you feel better, you fucking psycho. You know what I mean? Because that's what you're doing. Sanctions are doing that, okay? The way that sanctions work and the way that they're applied is doing that. You're literally putting a fucking gun at the head of a poor Russian person and pulling the trigger. The difference is you're not directly doing that action, so it doesn't matter. You're doing it from afar, and you're not even doing it, so you don't give a shit. You don't have to defend it, though. The fuck are you on about? Sanctions kill people, okay? Especially, luckily this is Russia, okay? Sanctions are not genocide. That's obviously a very stupid point. Lamau, yeah, tell that to the 500,000 dead Iraqi children that died as a consequence of American sanctions placed upon them, that Madeleine Albright said was just the cost of doing business, was collateral damage that was appropriate. Lamau, you fucking bitch. Like I said, one day, dude, hopefully, if there is, inshallah, there is one fucking day, you will see one day. Lamau!
Half year, let's go wide peepo happy.
Americans are disgusting, dude. Seriously, it's just fucking disgusting. Yeah, that's why you sit around and you're like, yeah, I'm fucking dumping out Russian vodka. Yeah, I'm fucking, you know, we're banning Russian cats from the fucking cat show. I'm doing my part. Rather than be sanctioned, than be bombed. What you are failing to recognize is, 1, the Russian people have no say in this matter and therefore do not deserve it. And 2, we don't even know if it's going to be successful, as it has never been successful on a foreign adversary. Okay? You can't just like enact senseless brutality on an entire nation of people because it makes you fucking feel good, and then turn around and go, oh, dude, well, actually, it's great, like, whatever, you know, because the alternative is being bombed. No, the alternative is not being bombed. If you're gonna fucking do sanctions, you could actually do sanctions on areas instead of controlling their fucking global currency, or instead of controlling their fucking currency in every way, shape, or form you can, and shutting random Russians out from being able to fucking survive, then target the fucking oligarchs. Not just that, but also shut off the fucking energy. But you won't do that because that actually gives you a fucking a little bit of an ounce of pain. You don't want to do that. You're too cowardly to do that. Well, we'll do it. Don't worry. When we fucking, you know, ease the sanctions on Venezuela and get oil from elsewhere, so then we can turn around and fucking say, oh yeah, we did it. We sanctioned Russia. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. We cannot have, Shell can't have 8% less crude oil, okay? They can't. Because they have to, no matter what happens, they will never take a dive. They will never take an L. They will never take a price cut. They will never fucking dip into their profit margins. There is no sense of solidarity or internationalist humanitarianism in Shell. It's a corporation. They don't give a fuck. And that corporation is not going to dip into its own fucking profit margin. And that's precisely why instead they're going to keep buying keep buying oil from fucking Russia. Okay? They can't stop. They can't stop getting oil from Russia. They can't. It's 8% of their crude oil is coming from Russia. They can't stop that because that oil has to come from somewhere. Okay? It has to come from somewhere. Otherwise, if it doesn't come from somewhere, now you have 8% less crude oil. Now there's less supply, but the demand stays the same. In which case, you have to raise the prices. That's how it works. You have to do that. Right? How about you fucking, turn the conversation around a little bit and talking about fucking Russians that are dying or whatever the fuck. How about you turn around and maybe, I don't know, look at how little you're willing to give. You're not willing to give anything. You just want to fucking say, I support the yellow and blue, okay? Oh, sunflower seeds in your pocket. Pog. I'm soy facing. Pog. Zelensky is a daddy. Pog. I stand with Ukraine. You don't stand for shit.
As high.
People this is the problem. There needs to be some sort of repercussions for war. Sanctions are one of them. It's unfortunate for Russians, but I think of the Ukrainian civilians as well. Okay, bomb Russia then. Is that okay? Should we start bombing Russians? Should we start if Russia did not have a nuclear arsenal? Should we just start killing random Russian civilians? Come on, there has to be a consequence for war, right? There has to, right? Yeah, the consequence of war should be felt by those who are perpetrating it. Not by random people who have no say in that. Okay? Sanctions without any sort of fucking negotiation process at the tail end of it, and full-blown, full-tilt sanctions like the ones that are being instituted upon Russian citizens. It's it's incredible. They're just inhumane. They're brutal as fuck. It's collective punishment.
So are the sanctions rebuilding?
It's collective punishment.
Of the Cold War?
The only difference is collective punishment is totally fine when those who hold the power do it. Okay, and the fucking dumbass Mama Liga is literally. I know which video he's showing. It's got to be that fucking Russian propaganda that came out, right? Do these people deserve sanctions too? Sure, dude. Yeah, those people do, okay? Go target them individually. And before you say you are now agreeing with DeSantis, haha, remind yourself, okay? Remind yourself that I want the sanctions to be lifted on Venezuela, you fucking idiot. I'm mad that they haven't done it so far, but they're showing that it's so easy to do at a time when you need extra fucking oil, you dumb bitch. So I'm not agreeing with Ron DeSantis, that fucking ghoul, that goddamn demon. I'm saying that the sanctions against Venezuela should have been lifted years ago, you fucking idiot. You hear my angry words and you misunderstand what I'm saying. No, dog, it's not propaganda. They're marching with Z on their cars. Yeah, I saw, dude. I saw some fucking hyper professional made videos all of a sudden out of nowhere after actual genuine grassroots opposition to the fucking war sparks up and people get arrested. Suspiciously, beautifully shot videos come out showing support for the war. I know. I saw the video. I'll show you in a second. Hold accountable, he says, dude. So I guess I'll talk about Venezuela being bad and false, and the moment the U.S. wants oil, all of a sudden Venezuela is good. Exactly. Because there is no good or evil in this situation. And if you want to fucking apply morality, we are a lot closer to evil than anyone else, okay? Just by the pure metric ton of the horrible, disastrous things that we have brought upon this planet, we in the United States are significantly more evil. And not we as in like everyone living in America, okay? And of course, I always mention sanctions would work if a country is not a foreign adversary. If a country is reliant on U.S. If a country is reliant on United States aid, okay? If a country is reliant on our guns, our weapons, our training. So yes, Israel or even fucking Saudi Arabia would suffer from any kind of meaningful sanctions. Of course, we'll never do that because Saudi Arabia, just like Russia, is our partner, our energy partner, a supplier of energy for us. So much so that we could even do that to Venezuela for as long as we did, or Iran, because we have Saudi Arabia on our side, you know? There will be a day when we all test the scales of accountability. No, there won't be, dude. No. Henry Kissinger is still alive. Dick Cheney is still alive, dude. There's no fucking day of reckoning, okay? Don't be crazy. Be realistic, okay? Your take on this is the view of a child. Sanctions clap bystanders all the time. Correct on that. Bystanders, but what other options do we have? If we hit their oil and gas sector, it would likely have even worse consequences because their whole economy is based on it. You say we need negotiations with them, but Ukraine has tried. We have tried and achieved nothing. Yeah, totally, dude. All right. Starve out the Russian citizens then. And after that Happy Himbo, you should do a theory stream on dialectical materialism, and after that imperial foreign policy, they explain that the idea of Communist Party states not being authoritarian while being subjugated by empire is idealist. I already have described that. You know how fucking authoritarian Western nations can get at times of war, and if you are a much, much smaller nation that is like literally being choked out by empire, obviously you're going to try to fucking maintain any sort of grip of power you can. To have some sort of balance, and that's precisely why Cuba, Venezuela, and all these other countries become even more fucking authoritarian than they originally were supposed to be. I've mentioned this a million times over. Look at how much fucking random civilians in supposedly liberal America screech at any sign of fucking a difference in opinion. If the goal of sanctions is to fucking overthrow the government, dude, by starving out a population, it just fucking kills me. Help me understand, based on the brain dead gray name arguments, why a person who consistently voted against Putin literally limit of my ability without getting threatened now has his funds frozen due to his visa shutting us off. Due to visa shutting us off, like, should I just literally die because of my birth zip code? Yeah, exactly. The other day you were supporting sanctions of this war, now you're against the sanctions. I've always said from the fucking jump that it's a really It's one that I see both sides on, even from day one. I do. I understand the feeling of powerlessness against the Russian state doing horrible shit to Ukrainians. But I also absolutely see the fucking human toll that it's going to take. And I'm certainly anti-sanctions on Venezuela and all these other countries. Like, absolutely, without a doubt. I've never been fucking for sanctions on Cuba. I've never been for sanctions on Venezuela. I've never been for sanctions on Iran. I've never been for sanctions even on Korea. No sanctions for Yemen. I've never been for sanctions for any of those countries. With Russia, the reason why I feel differently than other countries is, one, because like there's a clear state of aggression here. But two, yes, you were. I was what? No. I have,
Brother Hasan.
as a matter of fact, I've always talked about fucking how devastating sanctions are for the civilian population. The only reason why I feel differently about Russia is because, one, clear act of aggression by the Russian state against another state, and two, rather than like its own civilians, because you have like a material interest in fucking, I mean, you still have a material interest in destabilizing Russia regardless. Anyway. What is this? Russian propaganda again? Is that what you're going to show me? Russian MOD posted the info above hours ago. What? Russian Ministry of Defense, Ukraine's SBU, along with Azov, have booby-trapped the nuclear reactor at Kharkov Institute of Physics and plan to blow it up and accuse Russia of carrying out a missile strike onto it. Wait, what? Ukraine accuses Putin's forces of firing missiles at the Kharkiv Institute of Physics and Technology. How do you retaliate against their government without sanctions peacefully? Wait. Sanctions that have no conditions. Sanctions that don't come with like conditions that are conditions that revolve around a peace negotiation at the tail end of it are just fucking needless and senseless acts of brutality that hopes that like enough citizens die of starvation and they get angry enough that you completely destabilize a country. And maybe someone will like be able to fucking kill Vladimir Putin. And you can't also fucking say you're going to do sanctions while simultaneously not even personally suffering the negative side effect of that. Okay? All you are showing to Vladimir Putin is that you are dependent on his energy on the one hand, okay, and interested in continuing to buy commodities from him, as we have done and as many countries have done, on the one hand, while starving out fucking the average Russian citizens with the hopes that like they'll turn around and I don't know, do a violent revolution. Millionaire takes? Telling me millionaire takes? Yeah, millionaires, famously in defense of like, starving children in Yemen, or starving children in Venezuela, or starving children in Iraq, Afghanistan. Millionaires love to be on the other side of sanctions when the entire fucking country is like up in arms. Russia could literally end the sanctions tomorrow if they left Ukraine. The point is, it's not harming Putin. It's just hurting fucking citizens. And you're talking about a dude who doesn't have a problem locking up citizens for even saying that there's a war going on in fucking Ukraine. What makes you think he's going to give a shit when they're dying, when they're starving? The goal for sanctions is, oh, maybe, just maybe, he'll be like, oh man, a lot of guys are dying. Oh fuck, a lot of people are starving now because of my actions. Oops, I guess I should stop. The other side of it is like, hopefully he won't be able to fund his war efforts continuously. Wouldn't people rise up? Rise up and do what, dude? What are they going to do? How are they going to find him? Do you see any logical way out of it? Yes. The unfortunate reality is that a post-Putin Russia is also further destabilized and will probably have even worse consequences than the sanctions that we have brought upon Russia. A country that is a nuclear superpower with 6,000 nuclear warheads, destabilizing without a contingency plan, with Western, Western influence, once again, putting its fucking talons all on it, all across that country like we once did in the 90s.
Dressing on my salad until
Holy
the
shit, I
sandwich ready
cannot
of the golden
comprehend
order.
how much worse things are going to get. It's going to be so awful. I mean, this is not my analysis. Like, NPR was talking about this even before fucking Ukraine, about, like, Western media has regularly talked about how terrible the future of Russia is going to look like if Vladimir Putin potentially dies, like he might have cancer. You know, there's always stories like that that come out. Russia will be better off without Putin. They need democracy. Dude, you are... I mean, come on, dude. That's a fucking cute take. At least Turkey, luckily, does have fail-safes. Russia does not. Motherfucker said democracy. Communist Party is the strongest entity outside of Putin politically in Russia. Copium, I'm about the future post-Putin. Yeah, totally, dude. The Communist Party. The Communist Party in Russia. Yeah, every single Communist Party member in the Duma, with the exception of two, well, every single one of them voted on behalf of the recognition of DPR and LPR as territories. They're controlled opposition, nothing but. They're literally, it's Putin. This is Putin's country. And when you are a singular authoritarian figure that leads an entire nation, okay, and you fucking turn around and you die and you have no contingency, that destabilization is going to look like Iraq. But this time, think Iraq, and the population is 150 million, and there's, again, and I cannot stress this enough, 6,000 nuclear warheads. And it's been divvied up by, it's been, the country is already like going to be cut into different pieces by the very same oligarchs that rose to prominence in the aftermath of the destruction of USSR. You think ISIS was bad, dude? Holy shit. On the one hand, you have Ukraine, which has a lot of reactionary forces gaining prominence. And then you have Russia, led by an authoritarian strongman who, once he fucking dies, God knows what the fuck's gonna happen. The balkanization of Russia, dude, that would be devastating. Gonna be devastating. It's gonna happen. Russia will collapse. Okay, bud. You think without Vladimir Putin, Russia will, what? You think in the aftermath of Vladimir Putin, Russia will not collapse? Are you serious? Please look to history. Like, what country has withstood in the aftermath of like a long and
happy to be here.
a long ass fucking regime with no contingency? What has happened? Chechnya and Ramazan Kadyrov, yeah, Ramazan Kadyrov will run Russia. I don't know what the fuck this is about, okay? The Russian Ministry of Defense saying Ukraine's SBU along with Azov have booby-trapped a nuclear reactor. Like, I don't even know what the fuck's going on there. If that's the case, why the fuck are they doing that? What good does it do? And if they were to fucking blow up their own or booby-trap their own nuclear power plant. They're not going to be able to goad America
17.
into doing more. A known, unknown bastard child of Putin will rise to power and promote Jeffersonian democracy in Russia. Trust me, bro. Oh, this dude said, how about Russia after Tsar Nicholas? Please sling that ring. That is so important. We need to see it and watch you level up, doggy. Yeah. Russians are claiming they found a 15-year-old NATO laptop as proof that NATO is directly involved in the conflict. Lamau. I did see this. I saw this. Yeah. Breaking. Russia finds NATO equipment at the headquarters of a Ukrainian Nazi group, the right sector. Oh, shit, dude. You know. A laptop with licensed NATO registry number was found. This laptop contains a detailed map of the area with the location of LDNR and Russian units and other military facilities that were detected from unmanned aerial vehicles, including American ones. First of all, I mean, is this, you know, I don't even know. Just because it slapped stickers on it doesn't mean that it's true. But secondly, okay. Yeah, I mean, wow, I'm surprised. I can't believe NATO is helping Ukrainians. That's shocking
Sanctions
to me.
Are bad. War is bad. Is that your
Like,
take?
even if it's
You
real,
have not
okay?
given an
Even if it's
actual
fucking
opinion
real,
on
which
what
is
you
like
think
a
is
little bit
best
too
strategy to
on the
take.
nose, okay? For it to be real, but even if it was real, like, what are you shocked? I doubt that they have fucking literally like, this is the NATO laptop. Look at all the stickers on my NATO laptop that I, a NATO member. No shot they're using Lenovo. Why not? Why? Because it's like, is Lenovo Chinese? Is that why? Why wouldn't they? The ThinkPads are fucking... Dude, of course they use Lenovo's. What the fuck are you talking about? Defense contractors in America use Lenovo's. Shut up. They would never have laptops with content not encrypted. Yeah. People are like, wow, I can't believe NATO is giving them a laptop that has positions of Russian forces on it. Like, okay, you know they also gave him javelins, right? Like, where do you think, like, fucking all the man pads materialized? What do you think happened? Do you think they just, like, randomly, the Ukrainians prayed, and all of a sudden, you know, they fell off the back of a truck? Like what? Where do you think the Bayraktars came from, dude? Huh? You know, one day I prayed to the javelin gods, and I had javelins in my backyard. What kind of destabilization post-Putin you talked about? I said, in the aftermath of Putin, I'm terrified of what will happen to Russia. The way things are currently. People even say that they don't have, like, the oligarchs no longer have the same level of power, and it's just one man and one man only. Hunter's laptop also had nuclear warhead pictures on it. What? Imagine if Kadyrov becomes president. Yeah, that's not happening. Here's one thing that's not happening, dude. That.